Stand up, New York Giant fans. Big day today in the NFL world. All New York Giants fans got to find out the official schedule. Now, the official schedule has not come out yet. It's due to come out about 8 p.m., but there's been some leaks. We're going to go over those leaks. It was reported, I think, by the New York Post. I'm going to pull up what it says on Giants Wire. We're going to analyze the schedule. I'll have another video up tomorrow when I have more of a chance to really break down the schedule, further analyze it, give you guys my way too early record prediction. I'll probably do another one of those before the season starts, but I'll dive into the historical matchup between each team and jump further into, how each team may have done on the road, at home last year, so on and so forth. Talk about, their new additions throughout the year. But we're going to go over the schedule. I'm going to talk about how I like the layout, what I like about it, what I don't. I looked at it briefly. There's some things I like, and there's some things I don't, but we'll talk about it all in this stream. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Cushmaster Man. Thank you very much. Stand up, New York Giant fans. What's going on, Cushmaster Man? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's going on? Certified, what's going on there? Gucci, what's going on there? T-Boy, Waterfly in the chat. Yo-Yo in the chat. Certified in the chat. I saw that Authentic was in the chat. I want to say what's up to him, Andrew Christopher. Nikki Sav in the chat. Pete Parker in the chat. Waterfly. Kalen Dragon. Donovan in the chat. Malik in the chat. Red Tesla in the chat. Sedan in the chat, Pasa in the chat. Thank you to everybody for being here, man. Thank you for being the best supporters on YouTube. Can never say thank you enough. Stephen Lim says no respect. I don't know if he's talking about me. If he is, there's your respect. I try to say hello to everybody. Stephen Lim. What's going on? What's going on there, Ed Man? What's going on there, McCann Man? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's going on there, Cushmaster? Thank you to everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Roldy in the chat, Waterfly in the chat. Got to go to my first sporting event today. That was fun. New York Mets baseball game. Got a little sunburnt. But we'll see how it works out, man. What's going on there, Pistol Pete? We're going to jump into the schedule. And, of course, you guys know the schedule we're going to play. We're playing let's just show it. Let's just start by showing it. We all heard the word yesterday that the New York Giants were going to start out playing the Denver Broncos. Week number 1, that is official. That came out from Art Stapleton last night. Everybody wanted the Eagles. We didn't get our wish. We're not going to play the Eagles for quite some time, at least according to the schedule that was released. But when you look at our first 3 games, it's pretty favorable. And, the New York Giants traditionally don't really get a very favorable schedule to start the year. If you've been a Giants fan for a while, we usually get screwed to start the year. Last year, we played the Steelers. We played the Rams early. We played the defending NFC champion, the 49ers early. Usually we start with a really tough schedule. This year, and we're going to dive further into it, this year, I think the easiest part of the schedule is at the beginning and at the end. And in the middle, it's dirty. In the middle, the Giants are going to struggle. So the Giants are going to have to get out to a really good start this year. They're going to have to beat up on their early opponents, get off to a nice start. It's going to be a lot of pressure with those early games because when you look at the schedule going forward, it's really challenging. Now, of course, you can't predict the schedule until, it's a week-by-week basis. There's tons of injuries in the NFL. You can't predict it. But it looks tough, at least right now on paper. I'm going to have to get some water in my system. Hold on one second. Kevin, man, thank you for... God, I got something caught in my throat. He says, Eagles, week 12 is way too late. Come on, I'm with you on that. What the hell is going on? This never happened to me when I'm live. Ryan says, first ever 17-0 season. Let's go, Giants. My God. Hold on. Let's go over the schedule real quick. No. I think I've just been screaming too much over the last 2 days. T-Boy, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, I smell a 3-0 start. Been thinking about it. I sure hope so, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So, this is the schedule for the New York Giants. And let me move it down for you guys a little bit. Hold on. This at least according to GiantsWire.com. Like I said, it's not official yet. Schedule starts with the Denver Broncos. Week 1. Going up against the New York Giants. That game is in New York. So the first thing I'm going to say about that Denver Broncos game, I think one thing that is really important and one thing that I was looking for to start the year was getting to get teams with unfamiliarity early in the season. Teams that maybe had young quarterbacks that weren't familiar with the scheme, new coaches, so on and so forth. Well, you're getting a Denver Broncos team that more than likely, unless they get Aaron Rodgers, and you'd still have a new quarterback in that scenario, that's more than likely going to be starting Teddy Bridgewater. Of course, they signed Teddy Bridgewater this year. So we'll see. But I think that's a good week one matchup, and one of the better week one matchups as Giants fans that you could have hoped for. Denver's going to be traveling across the country. And when you look at our schedule, I would say that is one of the more winnable matchups. Now, I didn't see the official spread to this game, but from what I heard on Twitter, the New York Giants are actually underdogs in that game. And if that is true, I honestly don't know how that's possible. I can understand the Giants being underdogs in a lot of their contests. I do not understand it in the Denver Broncos game. Now, I'm not sleeping on Denver. Denver's a good team. They have a good secondary. They got some good pass rushers. I get it. They got a good defense. Their offense doesn't scare me. They're traveling across the country. I think that is absolutely a game the New York Giants should win opening day. And if they do that, the Giants will get off to their first 1-0 start since 2016. And John, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Stand up. Yeah, you're the man. Since we don't play right away, who does it benefit more? Since the Eagles want to get us right now, or would you want the best to play? I think if I'm being honest with you, John, of course, is an Eagles fan. I don't think it benefits either team dramatically. And obviously, you don't know. You don't know what our teams are going to look at by the time we get to week 12. So it's very hard for me to tell you who it benefits more because, say Jalen Hurts gets hurt week 10, well, then it benefited the Giants that they played later in the season. But right now, if you ask me on paper, which team does it maybe benefit a little bit more that we're playing later, I would say the Eagles. For the simple reason that the Philadelphia Eagles have a new coach with Sirianni. And I think it'll take them 4 or 5 weeks to get their feet out, from underneath them. But the other thing I'll say is by the time they play the Giants, and we'll see how the Eagles do, but the Eagles may be 2-10, and they may be completely deflated. So it's very hard to analyze the schedule before we play one another. But I would say it actually benefits the Eagles a little bit more than it benefits the Giants. We have more familiarity with our coach. You don't. I think it'll take you guys 4 or 5 weeks to get used to it. So I would say it actually benefits the Eagles a little bit more than the Giants. Week 2, we got the – I'm muted? No, I'm not. Week 2, we've got the Washington – next, if he says you're muted again, mute him. Week 2, we've got the Washington football team at Washington. And, let's pull me up. We're going to go back and forth with the schedule. We'll talk about the Washington game now. When I look at Washington's team this year, I think the Washington football team is one of the more upgraded teams in the National Football League. I try to be as unbiased as I can. I think Washington had a really good offseason. I think their young defense is only going to get better. I think they're going to be more acclimated to their coach. But the reason I like, and it's a Thursday night football game, by the way, if this is accurate, there's two things that I like here. One, every team in the league has to play a Thursday night football game. Okay, so you cannot hide from it. So we're going to have to play Thursday night, whether it's week 1, week 2, week 17. So I like that we're getting an early Thursday night game. Why? Because we're going to be healthier. Obviously, you have to figure we're going to be as healthy as possible going into week 2. It's early in the season and pretty rested. I'd much rather play the Thursday night game week 2 than week 10. Okay, the other thing is I think Washington is actually playing in L.A., if I'm not mistaken, week 1. I think it's a road game. And if it is, they're traveling all the way back to Washington. So it's not like, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal that we're going to Washington, playing on Sunday and then playing on Thursday. We both have the same amount of rest. And the reason I like getting Washington, why are people saying I'm muted? Am I muted? I don't think I'm muted. But anyway, the reason I like playing Washington week 2 is the same thing I just talked about. What's up there, Sacred House, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. The same thing I just talked about. They got a new quarterback. That's getting acclimated to a scheme with Ryan Fitzpatrick. The quarterback has to get used to the wide receivers. The wide receivers have to get used to the quarterback, so on and so forth. So I think it's good that we're playing Washington early in the year. And I think we actually have a legitimate chance picking them off week 2. But I'm not taking them lightly. I think Washington has a very good football team. I think they have one of the best front sevens in the league. I think they have a decent secondary. It's going to come down to Fitzpatrick for them this year, but we do have their number, and I do like the fact that we're playing them early. I could see Fitzpatrick struggling the first 4, 5, 6 weeks of the regular season this year. That's just my opinion. So I like that we got Washington early rather than week 5 or 6. I like that we're getting them week 2. And again, when I look at it, I think the Giants have a pretty solid chance. I'm not going to say I'm predicting it right now or I'm guaranteeing anything, but I think the Giants have a pretty solid chance to get off to a 2-0 start. Then when you go to week 3, it's going to be against the Atlanta Falcons. That's at home. So now you're getting a team that's traditionally a dome team, having to travel to New York, New Jersey. And again, I look at the schedule, guys. To me, this is probably, in my opinion, one of our 2 or 3 easiest games on the schedule. And I know some people may not agree with me on that because they've got all these weapons. They had Pitts, they got Jones, they got this, they got that. They don't scare me. Outside of the dome, and I'm going to go further into detail with this tomorrow, I don't feel they're the same offense for 1. And 2, I think their defense is complete trash. The Falcons don't scare me at home. I think we should beat the Falcons. I think our offense should be able to put up points on against them at will. And I'm looking at these first 3 games, and I'm saying, if it was in Atlanta, I'd be talking different right now. It's home. And I'm looking at these first 3 games, and I'm saying to myself, we should absolutely start 2-1. At a bare minimum, we should absolutely start 2-1 with a chance to start 3-0. So if this schedule is accurate, I like our first 3 games. It's going to get tough, though, but I like our first 3 games. And John, thank you very much. I think it benefits the Giants because of the weapons need to get acclimated to Daniel Jones, so there will be no excuses when my Eagles win. Sorry, but I mean, that's your opinion. That's fair. I don't care. I don't care who it benefits. I just want to kick your team's ass. I don't care if we play you week 1, week 12, week 15. I don't care, but I can say the same thing about you guys. You guys got new weapons too. Your first round pick is a wide receiver that's going to be your number 1 wide receiver. And Hurts only had 4 starts, and he's got a new system to learn. So I personally think it benefits the Eagles a little bit, but again, you can't predict that until you get to week 12, week 13. You don't know what the teams are going to look like. You don't know how they're going to be playing going in. It's very hard to predict who it's going to benefit more until the game gets a lot closer. But I think those first 3 games, if let's put it this way, when you look at our next 4 or 5 games, if the Giants don't start at least 2-1, they're in big trouble. They're in big trouble because then we've got 2 road games, and even the most optimistic Giant fan, they're road games, okay? You cannot be predicting winning both those games. You have to be happy with a split there. At New Orleans, one of the toughest places to play in the National Football League. Drew Brees or no Drew Brees, it's still one of the better 53-man rosters in football. It's in a dome where they play much better historically, and then at Dallas. So if you get a split out of those 2 games, you're happy, right? That will not be easy. In Dallas is not going to be easy. I'm not saying we can't beat Dallas. We definitely can, but I'm not going to, neither one of those games are easy. And it doesn't get easier after that. But at New Orleans, I know a lot of people are going to look at Jameis Winston and they're going to say, oh, this team's not the same. No Drew Brees. Well, take a look at the Saints last year. Take a look at the Saints the last 2 years. Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0 with the New Orleans Saints. Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0. Last year when Brees went, or maybe 4-1. Regardless, he had a great record. Last year when Brees went down, Taysom Hill stepped in. He won football games. That is a great 53-man roster. They have a great offensive line. They have a very good defense. They've got great wide receivers. They got a great running back. Saints are not going to be easy in New Orleans. That I don't care what the experts say. I think that's one of the tougher games on our schedule. Now, of course, Jameis Winston is definitely prone to turning the ball over. And with this Giants defense, it's very possible we could create some turnovers, but that will not be an easy game. That will not be an easy game. And Rolly, man, thank you very much. Chris, I know you're having a tough schedule. You know it is. Can't say it isn't. It's not a cupcake schedule. Honestly, it's tougher than last year's. I'm going to disagree with at least going into the year, Rolly. And again, this is why you can't analyze the schedule until the season starts and until it's a week-by-week basis. But going into the season last year, Rolly, I would have disagreed with you. I would have said, look at our schedule. We're playing the Steelers, a team that's always good. Going in, we thought they had the best defense in football. We were coming off the pandemic. We were still getting acclimated to the team, everything else. Week 2, who do we play week 2? I can't even remember off the top of my head, but it was not an easy game. Oh, it was the Bears. Who we play this year? We played the 49ers, who going into the year, at this point in time, you would have said, we're losing by 40. They just went to the Super Bowl the year before. The Rams, who were very good. The Cardinals, who everybody loved going into the year last year. Everybody was saying they're the Super Bowl sleeper. This, that, the other thing. So I disagree. I think at this point in time last year, I felt worse about last year's schedule than this year's schedule. I thought the Browns were going to take a major leg up. The Ravens, of course, were solid. The Seahawks win 10, 11 games every year. I'm going to I'm not saying it's an easy schedule. It's not. Giants never get an easy schedule. They played the Bucs last year. Everybody was super high on them. Going in, we didn't have any gimmies last year outside of the division, outside of Cincinnati, really, for the most part. I don't think we had any gimmies outside of the Cincinnati Bengals. You had to figure we'd beat them with Joe Burrow at quarterback. But this is a tough schedule. And Hunter, man, thank you very much. Something telling me we were starting 4-1 with a loss to the Saints. Go Giants. Love your optimism, my man. I think it's a little easier. There's a glitch. Okay, I guess there's a glitch. I don't know what's going on. Maybe YouTube is having issues. But none of these games, Andy, I agree with that. Outside of the division, you could argue. But division games you can never say are gimmies. I would say the closest thing to a gimme is probably week 1. But the Broncos are not going to be super easy. But I would have said even going into last year, the Bengals weren't a gimme. A lot of people thought the Giants were going to win 2 or 3 games last year going into this season. Nobody knew how they were going to respond to Joe Judge. I think it's fair to say that going into last year, I would have looked at the Bengals game and the Broncos game as equal. I think that's fair to say. Drew Lock, I mean, what is Drew Lock? So I think that's fair to say. I'm not going to say any game's a gimme. There's never gimme games in the NFL. But I think our first 3 games, we have to go at least 2-1, and we probably got to go 3-0. And then you look at Dallas after that. We haven't won in Dallas in forever. We know that. They're a tough opponent. We swept them in 2016. And we'll see how we stack up. I think we could beat Dallas. I look at Dallas's team, and they got a very good offense. But I think our defense could stick with them. I really do. I think our secondary could stick with them. I'm not telling you we're going to shut them out, but I'm telling you I think we could keep them in the low 20s. And if we could keep in the low 20s against that defense, I think our offense could put up mid-20s, high 20s. I think we could beat Dallas. I think we match up well with Dallas. I really do. I think we have a chance to beat Dallas in Dallas. I actually think we have a better chance to win the game in Dallas than the game in New Orleans. The game in New Orleans scares the hell out of me. I am not confident going into that game. I do think we have a decent shot to beat Dallas. Even though it's in Dallas, I think we have a decent shot to beat Dallas. And the first 3 games, I expect at least 2 out of the first 3. And then we're going to get further along with the schedule. Giants getting swept like always, Dak says. Dark like man, thank you very much. How about that Mets though? He had 2 game-winning fielder's choices. Lindor might finally be back. He's batting .202. He's over the Mendoza line for the first time in forever. I disagree with you, amazing guy. I think this is a mistake that a lot of fans are making. I've heard people say, I watched a couple of schedule breakdown videos. I heard people say that the Saints are going to be this easy team. I completely disagree. They went 5-0 with Teddy Bridgewater 2 years ago. They won games with Taysom Hill. They still have a great coach. They still have a great 53-man roster. I know that maybe they lost a piece or 2, but I ain't ruling out the Saints, and it's in New Orleans. That is not going to be an easy game. And John, man, thank you very much. Is it possible that the winner of the division is only going to win 9 games since our division is going to be tough? Yes, I definitely think it's possible. I think 9 or 10 wins is probably going to win the division. I think it'll take at least 9, but I think 9 wins is possible. I think 10 wins will win the division. And 9 wins maybe in a tiebreaker scenario. I personally think Washington, the Giants, and Cowboys are all going to be between like 8-10 or 8-11 wins. So, yeah, I think it'll be competitive. Yeah, Saints are definitely still a good team. Nate, man, thank you very much. Thoughts on the Packers signing Bortles? Man, I am scared to see Rodgers on the Broncos. I don't read anything into that, man. And I'm not saying they won't trade Rodgers, but them signing Blake Bortles has nothing to do with it. You need bodies. You need quarterback depth. Blake Bortles is a backup quarterback. He's not a starter. Maybe they plan on him shifting into becoming the backup, but them signing Bortles, I don't think means anything. He could easily be cut going into camp. There's no commitment there. I think they're just bringing in a body, a guy that's familiar. From what I read, I think he's familiar with some of the members on the coaching staff. I think that's all it is. But maybe in the end, they will trade Aaron Rodgers, and we'll see. And if he goes to Denver, I'm not going to complain. You know why? Every team in the division has to play Denver. It's not just us. So that's the way I look at it. I'm not going to complain. It sucks that we're playing in week 1. Nicky, man, thank you very much. New Orleans doesn't scare me. Thomas is open injury. They lost Lattimore. Jenkins sucks. And Lattimore may be behind bars. Lost Ray. I'm not saying they're as good as they were, but I ain't ruling them out. I ain't going to say that they're a pushover. I still think we have a better chance to beat Dallas than New Orleans. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misjudging New Orleans this year. I'm not picking them to go to a Super Bowl, but I think they're a solid team, and I think they still have a good defense. I still think they have a very good offensive line. And that's going to be, to me, that's going to be what wins that game. Their offensive line versus our pass rush. Can we get pressure on Jameis Winston? Because if we can, he's going to turn the football over. And that, to me, is going to be the key to that game. And obviously, Winston's going to have a lot to do with the team's success this year. But we'll see. But let's go. Let's get into the rest of the schedule. We talked about Dallas. We talked about New Orleans. Then we've got 2 home games in a row after we play 2 road games. So we start off home, road, road, and then we come back for 2 home games. Okay, same thing. Neither one of these games are cupcakes. I think you have to at least get a split out of this. You cannot lose both these games. I think both are winnable. You know, I have a tremendous amount of respect for the Rams. I actually am probably picking the Rams to go to the Super Bowl this year. I think they're a really good team. Okay, but I think it's a winnable game. They're traveling across the country. We played the Rams really tough last year. Stafford's definitely an upgrade at the quarterback position. I'm going to pick the Rams in my video. I'm not going to tell you guys I'm not. But I don't view that game as a game that we can't win. I definitely think we can win with them traveling across. With our defense, I think we can keep it relatively close. And I think we'll have a puncher's chance, much like we did last year when we played the Rams. Can't make mistakes against a team like that. The offensive line is going to be huge going up against Aaron Donald. You're going to have Nick Gates versus Donald again, so that'll be a cool storyline there. But, yeah, that's definitely a tough game, as is Carolina. I think we should beat Carolina. I think that's one of the 3 or 4 games. If we intend to make the playoffs this year, we have to win. We're at home. Their defense, to me, is at best mediocre. Sam Darnold. And I know Matt Rule's a good coach. I know they've got tons of weapons. I know they got McCaffrey back. Does Sam Darnold scare you with the defense that we have? We should not lose to Sam Darnold. I'm sorry. We should not lose to Sam Darnold. That's a game we have to win. That's a game I think we will win. But if you look at our first, let's recap real quick. If you look at our first 7 games, I think Denver, I think Atlanta, I think Carolina. I think those 3 home games, we should win. Those are games we should win. The rest are challenging. At New Orleans, at Dallas, at Washington, and the Rams home. We absolutely need to win at least one of those 4. You hope to win 2, so you get the 5-2 after 7. A minimum of 4-3, though, after 7 games. I think that's what you're looking at, because then the schedule gets even harder for a 3-game stretch before it starts to lighten up a bit when we get more divisional opponents. Willie, man, thank you very much, man. Between the Broncos and Washington football team, we will see pretty early if our O-line can hold their own. It's a great point you bring up. The other thing I want to make note of about the Broncos, Willie, our weapons are going to get tested early. The Broncos have one of the better secondaries in the NFL. So, all these weapons that we signed this year, we're going to get a good test week 1. And we're going to see how much separation guys like Kenny Golladay could create. How much separation guys like Kadarius Toney. And Toney, I'm not going to have, lofty expectations week 1. But we're going to see this revamped receiving core going up against a very good secondary. Now, the game plan in that game may be very well to try to run the ball as much as we can. And I know some Giant fans will be pissed off because they expect this team to come out throwing. But you're going up against arguably the best secondary in the NFL. I think you have to play to your, to your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. So I probably don't expect the New York Giants to come out throwing the football 40 times week 1. I think they'll try to be more ball control. They'll try to hit some deep shots. Maybe pick on the rookie corner, Pat Surtain. As good as Surtain is, I know Nicky's in here. Rookie corner struggle. So I think they'll try to pick on him a little bit week 1. But that is definitely the strength of that defense. And they have some good pass rushers as well. But I think the Giants are going to try to control the clock against Denver. A-Train, man, thank you very much. Beat the Bears and get that high pick. Sweet music. Yeah, hey, we're going to talk about that game. That's week 17. And I'm actually happy that we're playing them week 17. I said on Twitter why. I said on Twitter why. Because I don't have to hear people say they want to tank week 17. There's no tank in week 17. Because if we win, it hurts our draft position. The Bears have our draft pick. So I don't care what our record is. A win hurts us just as much as a loss does when it comes to the tank philosophy. So week 17, I don't care where the Giants are in the standings, what your thought process is when it comes to tanking. There's really no reason not to root for them to win. So I'm glad about that because there's going to be no tank talk week 17, or there shouldn't be. And I think that's a winnable game late in the season, but we're going to get to that. Sigma Man, thank you very much. I'm worried about our O-line for the first 4 weeks. You should be. Denver's got a good pass rushers. Washington's got good pass rushers. Atlanta's got decent pass rushers. The Saints, yeah, I mean, listen, we're going up against good teams, good defenses. Well, the Falcons' defense doesn't scare me, but Washington's got a good defense. Denver's got a good defense. And the Saints got a good defense. So we got 2 teams there in Atlanta and Dallas that I think we'll be able to move the ball on. Then you get to the Rams, good defense, and the Panthers, not so much. So I think we'll be able to move the ball against 3 of those opponents pretty easily. We're going to see how our offense stacks up when we go up against more formidable opponents on the defensive side. Then, why do we get the Eagles so late? I don't know. Then, after all that, we talked about the Rams. We talked about the Panthers. I think the Panthers are somewhat winnable. Then, week 8 and 9. By the way, I think we had the same bye week last year, if I'm not mistaken. I like this bye week. It's kind of right in the middle, especially being that there's 17 games now. There's 18 weeks. We got the, week 10 bye. So we play 9. Then we got to bye, and then we play 8 more games. So I kind of like where the bye is. But then we've got at Kansas City and the Raiders. I mean, I wouldn't be lying. I'd be lying to you guys if I thought we were going to beat Kansas City. I'm not going to come on here and tell you guys we're going to beat Kansas City. At the end of the day, it's the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. You're going to Arrowhead Stadium, one of the toughest places to play. You're going up against an explosive offense in Pat Mahomes. We've got a very good defense, but, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Obviously, we'll see. They tried to rebuff that offensive line. That's going to be a tough game. I think if you're being a realistic Giants fan, if you're doing the win-loss game before the year starts, you're going to pencil that in as a loss, if you're being honest about that. The second game against the Raiders, again, I think that's a game we should win. The Raiders are traveling, again, across the country from Las Vegas. I knocked myself out. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. I knocked myself out. We should be good now. And Cody says, okay, Dana, let's get the date for the tailgate. The date for the tailgate? All right, well, let's talk about that before we go over the rest of the schedule. And then I got one more that I just want to make sure I pull up before I lose it. Actually, I'm just going to read it off my phone, and then we'll talk about the date for the tailgate. I guess that was it. I thought I had one more. I just want to make sure I don't miss it. There it is. Q-Dog, man, thank you very much. This is the most exciting time to be a Giant. I'm with you on that, Q-Dog. Okay, so the date for the tailgate. Okay, I'm back. I think my chat on my phone is way behind. Okay, I think we're good. Kevin, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, Ravens absolutely dismantled us last year. That'll be a benchmark game. We don't play the Ravens. We play the West. We play the AFC West. We play the Raiders. Maybe you misheard me. We're playing the Raiders. Week 9. To be determined. We have 3 primetime games on the schedule right now. The Washington football team, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Tampa Bay Bucks. If we played the Ravens, I would not view that as a game that I'd pencil in as a win. But being that the Raiders are traveling across, their offensive line to me doesn't really scare me. I think that's a game we should win with the improvements to our roster. And my Giants fan, thank you very much. My Kenny Golladay jersey is on the way. Tickets for Carolina versus New York. That's awesome, man. So I'm gonna have to get a Golladay jersey myself. So let's take a quick look at the schedule real quick. Let's take a quick look. Tailgate. I don't want it to be too late in the year because I want to be able to sit outside, not have to worry about it, not just for me, but for everybody. Have to worry about it being, 25, 30, 40, 35 degrees. People don't want to be sitting outside 3 hours before a game in that weather if they don't have to. So I prefer it to be no later than early November. And unfortunately, when I look at this schedule, none of the, the better games are after. So I will leave it up to the content creators. I will leave it up to the fans because the only games that are a possibility before early November are the Raiders, the Carolina Panthers, the Rams, the Falcons, and the Broncos. All three of our divisional opponents are after the bye. The Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Washington football team. I'm not waiting until week 18, so we're not going to do Washington. November 28th is possible, but that's around Thanksgiving, so I don't know if that's ideal for people. And then you got Dallas December 19th. So it's an unfortunate schedule the way it lays out. I'll put it up for a vote. I'll let people decide what is best for everybody. But, I mean, if I had to guess, I don't know. I was hoping we got the Eagles in the first 9 or 10 games. Didn't happen. We'll see. I'll leave it up to everybody. I don't know what date Thanksgiving is, but we'll figure it out. Is Bad Dog in the chat? What's up, Bad Dog? Craig, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And he says, you're going to training camp? Yeah, I'm gonna be at training camp. I'm going to be at training camp. I'm not sure what day yet and if they're going to open it to the public, but I imagine that I'll be at training camp if they open it to the public, and I think they're going to. So, yes, I will be at training camp. And I think Bobby from Talking Giants is going to be there as well. I think he told me that. I think there's going to be a couple of content creators there, so should be a lot of fun. But yes, I will be at training camp at least probably twice if it's open to the public. And I'll let you guys know when that's going to be. But yeah, I mean, as far as the schedule goes, if it's going to be in the first half, I think you're looking at either the Raiders, maybe the Rams. The Raiders or the Rams. I think those are the two best games. The Falcons, I don't know. That doesn't really excite me. The Broncos, I don't want to go opening day, especially against the Broncos. So if we're going in the first half, to me, it's either the Rams or the Raiders. I think those are the two games you're looking at there. And if we want to wait till November 28th, it's the Eagles. And obviously the Eagles are going to be the most popular game. But like I said, we got to factor in it's around Thanksgiving. A lot of people travel around the holidays. May not be the most ideal day to do it. So, we'll figure it out. I think Tampa Bay is on a Monday night, so that's a Sunday. So I think it's like 3 days probably after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's usually the last Thursday of the month, so of November. So maybe we will do Philadelphia. Maybe we'll do November 28th Eagles. But I'll leave it up to the chat. I mean, I think it's going to be between those, my channel. Maybe we'll do a poll, whatever. But I think it's going to be between those three games. I think it's going to be the Rams. I think it's going to be the Raiders. And I think it's going to be the Eagles. I think it's going to be one of those three games. Rams, Raiders, or Eagles. And it's going to be, it'll be dependent on how, people's schedules play out. Let's see what we got. Rams or Falcons. Could be a Sunday night game, Man Cave TV says. What, the Eagles game? Yeah, it's a to be determined, so that could be a Sunday night game as well. Again, may not be ideal for everybody. I have no issues with whatever it is, but, I'm trying to think about everybody else. But, yeah, it could be a Sunday night game probably will be a Sunday night game against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sure we're going to get that once the official schedule comes out in 41 minutes, or at least I hope we do, that we'll find out whether or not it's a night game, but I'd imagine it very well could be. Authentic says these loaded NFC East games at the end of the year are weird. Washington football team plays the Cowboys and Eagles back to back to back to back, according to these leaks I saw. Yeah, Authentic, they kind of did the same thing last year, and I don't know if it's. I don't know. Let me take a quick look at the schedule. Last year, they I feel like they set the schedule up in a certain way because of the pandemic. I remember that like the first 5 games the Giants played weren't in the division. And it was kind of like as a backup plan in case they had to cancel some games. But I don't feel like they're thinking that way this year. They got Washington early. They got Dallas week 5. I think it just so happened that the two road games in division are in the first half. And it's just bad luck from that standpoint of wanting to get a divisional home game in the first half. But yeah, listen, the scheduling, I always have issues with the scheduling every year. We're going to get into the later portion of the schedule in a second. John, man, thank you very much. Yo, you can't make up some BS. It should be the Eagles, Giants after all the drama. You and Bad Dog better not hide. I'm coming to be. Oh, I want to play the Eagles week 1. I wanted to play. Yeah, they were. All the divisional games were clumped together last year, Authentic. It was last year we had a 6-game stretch where we played 5 divisional games. And then we played the Cowboys at the end of the year. We played the Eagles twice in a 5-game stretch. We played Washington twice in a 5-game stretch, and we played the Cowboys once. I think from like week 5 to like week 10. That was our whole division, and it's somewhat similar this year, at least at the end of the year. I like that Dallas has to come here in the cold. That's a good point. Yeah, let's get to the later portion of the schedule, Bad Dog. So I talked about Kansas City. I talked about the Raiders. Then off the bye, I think that's going to be a Sunday night game against Tampa Bay or a Monday night game at Tampa. At least we're rested going in. But that's not going to be an easy game. Again, if I'm being honest, much like the Chiefs game, I'm not expecting to win that game. Then you got the Eagles. That to me is a win. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what John says. I don't care what Lord Brunson says. I don't care what Philly 500 says. This year, we're breaking out the brooms against the Philadelphia Eagles. That to me is a win. Week 12. At Miami and at the Chargers back-to-back weeks. So now you got 2 road games back-to-back. And you're traveling across the country against the Chargers. One team I really wanted to play early on this year was the Chargers. I said I wanted to play the Falcons early. I said I wanted to play the Chargers early because of the new coach. So I don't like that we're playing the Chargers as late as we are. Because at that point, Justin Herbert will be acclimated to the playbook. We're going across the country. And I just feel like we never stack up good against the Chargers. Eli Manning never beat the Chargers. I hate that we're traveling there. I hate that it's later in the year. So I don't know how I feel about that game. That to me, and I'm not. I think we're better than the Chargers. I don't like the placement of the game. I'll say that. I think we could easily win it. I don't like the placement of the game. At Miami, so we get 2 warm games in a row. So if you want to go to a road game, that's nice. Early December, the 5th and the 12th, you got Miami right before the Chargers. Myself again. I keep doing that. I'm going to quit playing with the schedule because I keep doing that. I think that the game before the Miami Chargers, again, a tough 2-game stretch there, both on the road. It's going to be tough. I mean, again, though, much like I've said about a lot of these teams, I believe in our defense. And Tua doesn't scare me. So I don't think we're getting swept there. I think we'll win one of those 2 games. I don't think we'll win both. I think we'll win one of those 2 games. Whether it be Miami, whether it be the Chargers. Again, I'll have my prediction video out tomorrow when I dive further into it, when I get more details, how these teams have performed at, on the road, at home, so on and so forth. I think we'll find a way to win one of those 2 games. I'm looking forward to the Miami game. They built their team a lot like we did. I think it's a good matchup. Flores versus Judge, there's familiarity there. I think it's going to be a really good game. So I'm looking forward to that one, and I'm looking forward to the Chargers game. But Herbert, he'll be tough. He's going to be more acclimated to that playbook. That won't be an easy game on the West Coast, but I definitely think we could beat him. And I'm not going to call for a sweep on back-to-back road games. I don't think that's being super realistic. I think we'll split between those 2 games. Then, to close it out, after the Chargers game, 4-game stretch, 3 divisional opponents. Cowboys home, at the Eagles, at the Bears, and the Washington football team. And at the end of the day, that's what it's going to come down to. That's what it's going to come down to because, in my opinion, our record is not going to be bad enough at that point that we're going to be out of it. And if we could take care of business in the division over the last 4 games, we're going to the playoffs. That's my honest opinion. I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think we'll have at least 5, maybe 6 wins going into those last 4 games when I look at our schedule. I think we'll have at least 5, maybe 6 wins going into those last 4 games. And then it's going to come down to the game against the Cowboys, home, at Philadelphia, home against Washington, at Chicago. The Chicago game is going to be super cold, second to last game of the year, late December. And we'll see. I mean, we know our divisional opponents, but that's what it's going to come down to. We have to have at least 6 wins before we play that 4-game stretch, and then we got to win at least 3 out of those 4. That gets you to 9-8. That gives you a realistic chance to either make the playoffs via wild card or make the playoffs via division. Obviously, I'm hoping we do better than that, but I'm saying at a bare minimum, you want to be at 6 wins going into that 4-game stretch to give yourselves a real opportunity. And we'll see. The key parts to this schedule for me are the first 3 games and the last 4 games. In the middle is going to be tough. Maybe we go 500 in the middle. You hope that they scrap and claw. And in those, what does that leave? 10 games? 3 in the beginning, 4 at the end. In those 10 games, hopefully you go 5-5. You got to take advantage of the first 3, and you got to do well in the back 4. You have to win the divisional games. I think we can. I think we could absolutely beat the Dallas Cowboys. I think we should beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think we could stack up well with the Washington football team. And we got to have 6 wins going into those last 4 games. That's my opinion on it. And we'll see. We'll see how the schedule plays out. Why not the Thursday night football game against Washington? Make it home game for us. Well, I can't do that. I wish I could. I can't do that. The Thursday night football game is in Washington. I would love to tailgate if it was at home, but it's not. It's in Washington. You can't tell me 3 looks good. I don't know what you mean by that, Craig. I don't know if you're talking to somebody in the chat. And Gilman, thank you very much. Lombardo predicted 9-8 and getting swept by Washington and Dallas. Lombardo predicted we're gonna lose all 4 games to Washington and Dallas, and we'd still go 9-8. How? If we go 2-4 in the division, we're not going 9-8. Telling you right now, we're not going. If we go 2-4 in the division, we're not going 9-8. We're not going 9-8. Check the Bears schedule, Raz. Why? I know we're playing the Bears week 17. That's all I care about. We're playing the Bears week 17. No, I was saying we take over FedEx and make it a home. Oh, I don't think many people would be able to go do that. I want it to be a home game so, more people could go. If I go to Washington, not many people are going to go. And Grimman, thank you very much. He says anything less than 10 wins is a disappointment. I say 9 or 10. 9 or 10. I say anything less than 9 is a disappointment. 9 or 10 is what I expect. And again, I'll go over it tomorrow and I'll talk about it. But going in, that's going to be my expectations. 9, not at least over 500. 9-8 or better. 8 or 9 is a disappointment for me. 9-8, I'm not thrilled, but I'm like, all right, 3-game jump. You're over 500. You probably made a wild card. Might have won the division. But anything less than 9 wins to me is a disappointment. I'll get on board with that. 9 wins is not enough? Well, we'll see, Chris. It's still a 3-game jump. I mean, that's still an improvement, man. Can you predict the Bears' schedule for... Oh, is that... Oh, okay, hold on. I didn't even think about that. Okay. Let me look at the Bears' schedule. Did they leak the Bears' schedule? I'm looking for it now. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's pull this up. We'll go over it real quick. All right, hold on one second. Let me go over that real quick. And I knocked myself out again. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Hold on one second. Let's go over the Bears schedule. It's right here. Chicago Bears. Let's share it. Let's go over that schedule real quick. But let me read a couple of these real quick. DJ, thank you very much. And Craig, man, thank you very much. We were talking about Shep's new number. Looks good. I agree. I like the number 3. I'm not going to buy the jersey because I think he's probably going to be off the team at the end of the year, and I wouldn't recommend anybody buying the jersey. But I do like the jersey. I think it looks good, number 3. At most, I'll have another year with the Giants after this year. I don't really see him sticking around much longer after that, and I love Shepard, but I'm just trying to be realistic. So, let's go over the Bears' schedule real quick. Chicago Bears, week 1 loss. At the Rams, absolute loss. They're going to get obliterated. Week 2, I'm going to have them beating the Bengals at home. I'll have them at 1-1. I'll have them losing to Cleveland in Cleveland, 1-2. I'll have them beating Detroit. I'm going to have them beating Detroit at home, 2-2. I don't think Detroit's very good. At the Raiders, loss, 3-2. 2-3 rather. Green Bay, it's hard for me to predict because I don't know if Rodgers is going to be there. But right now, I am going to assume he's going to be there. And if Rodgers is there, I'm going to have Green Bay beating them. 2-4. At Tampa, loss, 2-5. San Fran, I think San Fran's going to be really good this year. You know what? I'm not going to say they're going to lose every game. So I will go 3-5. I'll say that they win either the Green Bay game or the San Fran game, but I could easily see them starting 2-6. But I'll go 3-5. At Pittsburgh, 3-6. Bye week. Baltimore, 3-7. At Detroit, I'll give them a win. 4-7. Because I gave them a win at Detroit, I'm going to give them a loss at home against Arizona. 4-8. At Green Bay, 4-9. Minnesota, I'll have them splitting, so I'll give them a win. Even though I think Minnesota's pretty good, I'll be conservative. I'll give them a win. 5-9 home. At Seattle, loss. I think we're going to beat. I have them winning 5 games. And 5 or 6 games. And I think I was pretty lenient with some of those picks. 5 or 6 games. Now, that could change if the Green Bay Packers trade Aaron Rodgers. If the Green Bay Packers trade Aaron Rodgers, that could be 7 or 8 wins. But with Rodgers in the division, I'm going to go 5 or 6 wins for the Chicago Bears. And Yuri, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Judge versus Flores, Spider-Man meme edition, Battle of the Belichick Disciples. Yeah, the two best two best Belichick coaches going head-to-head, at least in recent history. And forget about it. Thank you very much. Hey, Chris, would really appreciate it if you checked out the graphic of our schedule on my Insta. Thanks. Forget about it, sports. I'll try my best to I'm not super active on Instagram, but everybody else in here that is, check them out, and I will try my best to check it out, man. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I'll make sure to check it out. Matter of fact, let me take a screenshot now, and I'll make sure to check it out. Hold on 1 second. Let me get rid of this. That way I don't forget. There we go. New York Giants quarterback Saheed. I love these fans. I love Saheed. I do. I talk to him in Nate chat all the time. But I love these fans. They're already talking about quarterbacks in the 2022 draft. You know, for everybody talking about quarterbacks in the 2022 draft, just don't watch next year. And DJ Smoothie, thank you very much. How many will the Jets win? Let me pull up the Jets schedule real quick. And again, a lot of this is going to come down to the quarterback. I mean, it's going to come down to their rookie quarterback. So again, very hard for me to predict. I don't know how good he's going to be. But let me see. I'm just going to read it real quick. That's the New England Patriots schedule. That's not the Jets. Here's the Jets schedule. I'll read it real quick. And Nelson, thank you very much. How about the Miami Dolphins schedule for our pick? We don't have the Miami Dolphins pick. Second round. Well, I don't care. I'm not thinking about. Oh, no, third round rather. Right? They're the team that traded up in the second round. We got their third round pick. I'm not going to care about whether or not it's going to be the 75th pick or the 68th pick. I'm not too worried about that. But here's the Jets schedule. At Carolina, loss. New England, probably a loss. They were very active this offseason. At Denver, probably a loss. Tennessee Titans, home. I'm going to give them 1 win out of their first 4. I'm going to be nice. Whether it's them beating the Patriots at home, whether it's them upsetting the Titans, whether that's them winning in at Carolina. I don't think they'll start 0-4. I'm going to give them 1 win. 1-3 to start. At Atlanta, loss. I'm going to have them 1-4. Some way, shape, or form, 1-4 to start the year. Bye at New England, loss. 1-6. 1-5. Cincinnati, win. 2-5. At the Colts, loss. 2-6. Bills, loss. 2-7. I'm going to give them the Miami win home. I'm going to give them a split against Miami. 3-7. At Houston, I'm going to give them a win. 4-7. Eagles home, I'm going to give them a win. 5-7. Saints home, I'm going to give them a loss. 5-8. At the Dolphins, loss. 5-9. Jaguars win. 6-9. Bucks lost. 6-11. Right now, I got the New York Jets. 6-11. 6-11. Great man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, this is 100% a playoff roster. Anything less than 10 wins likely means Jones didn't make the jump year 3 of the rebuild, playoffs or bust. Yeah, I just think 9 wins gets us in the playoffs. With 7 teams making the playoffs, it could easily win us the division. So that's why I say 9 wins. But yeah, 9 wins to me. 9 wins, I think, will get us in the playoffs. So I think 9-8 is that's my minimum. I'm not saying it's what I want. It's my minimum for me to be like, okay. Like, I'm not flipping out. I don't think it was a complete disaster. They got to get 9 wins this year. I'm hoping for at least 10 or 11. But 9-8, that's my minimum going into the year. That's 9, yeah. And, of course, things happen. There's injuries, right? But going into the year, assuming we're going to stay – like, if Daniel Jones gets hurt week 2, I'm not going to expect 9 or 10 wins. And anybody that does, that's just not being realistic. So, but going into the year, assuming we're going to stay relatively healthy, Barkley's going to stay healthy, Jones is going to stay healthy, we're not going to have major injuries on the defense, we're not going to have Andrew Thomas going down, the key players are going to stay intact for the most part with a couple of injuries here and there. Yeah, I think 9 or 10 wins is realistic. DJ, man, thank you very much. Do the Philly schedule for pettiness. You want me to do the Eagles schedule? 0-17. Let's see. Philadelphia Eagles schedule. I'll be as nice as I can be. No, I won't. I hate the Eagles. Let's see. Let's read it real quick. That's not the order. So that leak doesn't give me the order. All right, hold on. I'll find it when I can. Stephen, man, thank you very much. Division record, 4-2 last year. We were 4-2 last year. I think I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to have it at 4-2 again. I'm not going to go in with, crazy expectations saying we're going to go 6-0 or even 5-1. I'm going to show our division respect. I think the Cowboys got better. Dak's back. I think Washington improved. And I'm never going to go into a year expecting a 6. I don't care how good our team is. The NFC East is tough. They're divisional opponents. I'm going to go 4-2 though. I think we'll duplicate what we did last year. You look at last year. Washington didn't have a quarterback. Dak was down for Dallas. So yeah, we should have went 6-0, but there were other circumstances as well. So I'm going to go 4-2. I'm going to have a sweep in Philadelphia. I'm going to have a splitting with the other 2 teams in the division. MYG forever, man. Thank you very much. We play the Bucks well rested on primetime again. Yeah, same thing as last year. Last year we had, I think we played, if I'm not mistaken, we played Thursday night the week before, I think against the Eagles, maybe. And then we didn't play again until Monday night. So we almost had a bye week, like a week and a half to play the Bucks last year. And that was a factor in my opinion. I think that not enough people talked about that. I think the game was as close as it was, at least due in part to that. And we were at home. I think this year we're going to Tampa, but we do have the bye to prepare. We got a really good head coach. I'm curious to see who Tampa plays. And again, when I do my video tomorrow, when I get an opportunity to look at everybody's schedule and really look at it, I'll come up with details like that. But I'm curious to see which team plays before we play them, because I think that's a factor as well. But I'm curious to see who Tampa plays the week before they play us, whether or not they're on the road, how tough the opponent may be. And again, it's very hard to predict these because of injuries in the NFL. And King, man, thank you very much. Eagles back into their schedule is brutal. Well, if you're an Eagles fan, I'll try to find it right now, your whole schedule is going to look brutal because your team is trash. I'm just being honest. They may not want to hear that, but I'm just being honest. I think they set themselves up right for the future, but this year they're going to struggle. Let me see. Let's see. I'm still looking for it. Here it is. No, that's the Patriots. That's the Jets. I'm having trouble finding the Eagles schedule. Oh, here it is. Okay. Eagles at the Falcons. I'm going to have that as a loss. I'm going to have them losing to the Falcons on the road. Niners home. I'm going to have that as a loss. I think the Niners are going to be much better this year. At the Cowboys, that's a loss. Chiefs, that's a loss. At Carolina, I'll go 1-4, just like I did the Jets. Maybe they'll beat the 49ers. Maybe they'll win at the Falcons. Maybe they'll win at Carolina. I'm not going to have them going 0-5. The NFL is too unpredictable. You find ways to win games. I'll have them starting 1-4. That is a brutal start to the schedule. That is a brutal start to the schedule. You're playing the Chiefs. You're playing at Dallas. You're playing at Carolina. And you're playing at Atlanta. Those teams we play home. We play the Falcons home. We play Carolina home. They're going on the road. That is tough, man. 1-4. Then they got the Bucs on 4 days rest. Oh. Well, to be fair, the Bucs are on 4 days rest also, and it is in Philadelphia. Oh my God. 1-5 at the Raiders. They're going across the country. 1-6 at the Lions. I'll give them a win. 2-6. Let's be really nice. Give them a win against the Chargers home. 3-6. I'm not giving them 3 wins in a row. They're just not good enough to win 3 games in a row. So I'm giving them a loss at the Broncos. 3-7. Saints loss. 3-8. At the Giants loss. 3-9. At the Jets loss. I had the Jets winning, so I'm going to have them losing. 3-10. Out of the bye, I'll give them a win against. I'll give them 4 wins. Eagles are going to get 4 wins this year. I'm going to go 4-13 for the Philadelphia Eagles. Their schedule is brutal. 4-13 for the Philadelphia Eagles. 4-13. And you're going to get Eagles content creators telling you that they're going to win like 9 games. How could you look at that schedule and think the Eagles are going to win 9 games? How? I don't see it. Unless Jalen Hurts turns into the next Tom Brady, I don't see it. Maybe they'll prove everybody wrong. What's up there, JC Silverman? Thanks for popping in. EDP in shambles, Jeffrey says. Chris, a rookie quarterback in Nagy's offense is going to fail. And Nagy's offense is going to fail. This isn't I don't know how he's going to be. There's a 90% chance that kid fails just because of Nagy. He's all for play calling and coaching decisions. He might. He very well may. We'll see. We'll see. But listen, rookie quarterbacks, regardless of what system they're in, usually struggle at least coming out of the gate. So any team that's going to be starting a rookie quarterback, I don't expect them to win a lot of games. And I view Jalen Hurts really as a rookie. The guy only played 4 games last year. So most of the time, rookie quarterbacks are going to struggle coming out of the gate, regardless of what situation they're in. Especially if they get thrown into the fire right away. When 8:00 is the official release, and I'm kind of waiting for that because a couple of times say to be determined. I don't know if they're going to say to be determined when the official release comes out. And DJ Smoothman, well, Gardner Minshew played well, Jarvis, but they didn't win. DJ, man, thank you very much. Josh Allen's schedule, he's making the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills, you mean? Yeah, he's making the playoffs. I don't even need to look at their schedule. I'm going to tell you right now without looking at it, at least 11 wins. Buffalo's too good not to win at least 11 games. Their defense is too good. They have familiarity there. I could see the Bills maybe taking a little bit of a step back, winning 10 or 11 games. They're making the playoffs. The Bills are going to win at least 10 or 11 games. They're one of the top 5 teams in the AFC. So I got them at least 10 or 11 wins. And forget about it, sports, man. Thank you very much. Not to be a pest, Chris, but I feel like the stream would enjoy the graphic for better visuals of our schedule. Also, the Bears pick, look at top 5. Love it. I completely agree. I mean, I'll try to find you, man. Again, I don't go on Instagram often. I'll try to find you. Forget about it, sports. Oh, there you are. There you go. There's the schedule. I don't know who else is posted in this. The 2021 schedule. Oh, this is the Giants. Okay. Yeah, this is his schedule. This is the. All right. Yeah, I'll show it. Hold on. screen. That's the schedule right there from Forget About It Sports on Instagram. And then Darnell, man, thank you very much. The Blue Lagoon is our defensive name. It's not bad. It's not bad. I always like coming up with new nicknames. That's not bad. The Blue Lagoon, I like it. I like it. We got to do something with Graham. DJ Smooth, man, thank you very much. Dude, Trevor Lawrence schedule, you got two. What do you mean, the Jaguars? I mean, I could do it real quick, but I'll tell you right now, the Jaguars ain't winning more than 5 or 6 games. Jaguars team is not very good. Yeah, Mets won, man. But this is the schedule right now. Real quick, Denver, we're home at Washington, at least right now. Home against the Falcons, at New Orleans, at the Cowboys. Home against the Rams, home against the Panthers, at Kansas City, home against the Raiders, bye at the Bucs, home against the Eagles, at Miami, at the Chargers, home against the Cowboys, at the Eagles, at the Bears, and home against the New York Giants. That's from Forget About It Sports. How was the Met game? Met game was good. Met game was good. We won 7-1. It was fun. It was fun. They did get Tebow, Texas Liberty. This is very true. Yeah, I mean, you want me to do the Jaguars schedule? Really? Okay. I'll tell you right now, without even looking at it, at most I'm going to have 5 wins. But I'll do it real quick. Rookie quarterbacks don't win games, especially when they're on bad teams. You know, Dak Prescott won, but he was a 4th-round pick or a 3rd-round pick. He went to a good team. The Jaguars are a horrible football team. Well, they won 1 game last year, 2 games last year. I'll try to find the Jaguars schedule if I can. I'll keep looking, but they're going to suck. I'm telling you that right now. They're going to suck. Giants posted their schedule on. Okay, Matt, I'm going to look at that right now. Maybe they'll show the times. Hopefully they show the times. I don't know if they do or not, but. And Jeremiah, thank you very much. Chris, when the Cowboys play Tampa this year, and they will win, their fans will act like they won the Super Bowl. Watch and see. Oh, they're not beating Tampa. They're not beating Tampa. I'm telling you right now, they're not beating Tampa. They ain't beating Tampa. Tampa's going to run them over. There is no way that Dallas defense is stopping Tampa. There's no way. There's no way. Tampa's going to destroy them. Tampa's going to destroy the Dallas Cowboys week 1. But let me go on Twitter real quick. And let's take a quick look at the New York Giants schedule. Do they have the times posted? Yes. Okay, we got times. Good. All right, let's share this. This is official now with times. Hold on one second. Here you go. There's the official schedule for the New York Giants with the times. And Stephen Lilly, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, who knows if we're going to be good this year because we don't have the Cowgirls first week, and then we're going to kick their no diggity hobo cardboard box butts. I can't wait to beat up on the Cowboys this year. But here's the official schedule with the times. Let me read them off real quick. It's Stephen Lilly, man. Glad to see you in here, buddy. Here's the official schedule. Week 1, 4:25, Denver Broncos. Week 2, Thursday Night Football, 8:20, first primetime game. Week 3, 1 o'clock Sunday, Falcons. Week 4, 1 o'clock Sunday on the road in New Orleans. That's interesting. 1 o'clock in New Orleans on a Sunday. Then on the road in Dallas, it'll probably be America's game of the week because it's quote-unquote America's team, even though they're not. 4:25, week 5. Then the Rams, that will be a 1 o'clock game home. It's going to feel like 10 a.m. for the Rams. Then home, 1 o'clock against the Panthers. Primetime at Kansas City on a Monday night, 8:15. Then we got a Sunday 1 o'clock game. Raiders, again, kind of out of their time element there. Home, Monday Night Football against the Bucs, out of the bye. And a 1 o'clock game against the Eagles, a 1 o'clock game against the Dolphins, a 4:05 game against the Chargers, 1 o'clock against the Cowboys, and the rest are 1 o'clock. So we only got 3 primetime games this year. And again, there could be flexes. But we only got 3 primetime games this year. I thought we'd get 4. We got the Bucs, we got the Chiefs, and we got the Washington football team on Thursday night. How in the world, and I'll get to these super chats in 1 second. How in the world did the Giants not get the Eagles on primetime? How did the NFL screw that up? And I know the Eagles suck, but how did the NFL screw that up? Simon, man, thank you very much. Yo, playing the Eagles later can help get us film. Well, yeah, it's going to help them get film as well, but hopefully they're beaten to a bloody pulp by then. And David, man, thank you very much. I feel the Giants have the opportunity with this schedule to prove a lot of pundits wrong. I think 11 or 12 wins is possible. Let's go, Big Blue. I think like every year, which never happens for us, we have to get off to a good start. And that's what I like about this schedule as opposed to previous schedules. I think we have a good opportunity to get off to a good start. That Washington game is going to be huge week 2 if we could beat Denver. If we could ever beat Washington, then you're looking at Atlanta home week 3. And all of a sudden, you're staring at a possible 3-0 start. So the beginning of our schedule is going to be big. Giants have to come out prepared. Roldy, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, you said our schedule is much easier than last year, but then you say the Eagles schedule is brutal when basically we played it. No, I didn't say it was much easier. I said it was easier, first off. And the reason why I think the Eagles schedule is tougher than ours, Roldy, I'm going to explain it real quick. The more winnable teams in the South, I'd rather play them at home. They're playing them on the road. They're playing the Bucs at home. They're going to lose against the Bucs, and we would lose against the Bucs whether we played them on the road or at home. We're playing the Falcons home. They're going to Atlanta. We're playing the Panthers home. They're going to Carolina. So I think the fact that they're playing the more winnable teams on the road makes their schedule even tougher than ours. But our schedule is not easy. It's tough. It's just not as hard as last year. And I like the fact that we get off to an easier schedule to start the year than we did last year. We play the same teams. You could say Hurt is an unknown. Well, guess what? Yeah, Jones is unknown. I agree with that. The other thing, I think they also play. I'd have to look at the Eagles' schedule again. I think they played at Denver as well. And again, that's another winnable team. I'd rather get them at home. Hearthstone, man, thank you very much, because the Eagles sucked and tanked. No prime for them. Yeah, well, I'm sure they're going to get at least 1 or 2 prime games. They have to get a Thursday night game, but they're not good. So, yeah. Glenn says, I see the Giants having 2 top 10 picks in next year's draft. Going crazy at free agency almost never works. I agree with the end of that statement. That going crazy. Well, I mean, if you want to look at 2016, it worked for the year, but it didn't work. It was horrible. We did go 11-5, but I agree with you. You don't win in free agency. What I liked in free agency, what they did was they were short-term contracts, so they didn't hamper us going forward. And I do think it was the appropriate time to be aggressive in free agency because Daniel Jones is on the 3rd year of his rookie salary. But under a normal circumstance, I'm with you. I don't like going hog wild in free agency, and I don't expect them to do it next year or the year after that. They're going to have to retain some of these players like Daniel Jones, like potentially Saquon Barkley, like Dexter Lawrence. They're going to need to give these guys contract extensions. So don't expect that every year. I think it was calculated. I think it was calculated. They saw that they still had Jones on his rookie salary, and they tried to get the most out of it. What's going on? And Brian, man, thank you very much. He says the defensive preacher, Patrick Graham. Hey, I love Patrick Graham, and we'll see, man. I love Patrick Graham. I think he's going to do wonders with this defense this year. Steven, thank you very much. Can you please look at the Bears schedule? I already did, but I'll read it off again real quick. I already did. And I had them winning 5 or 6 games. But I will read it real quick. Their schedule's tough. But yeah, the reason why I think we have an easier schedule than the Eagles is the easier teams that we have to play, we get them at home, which I would much sooner take. Let's see. Why is this not working? Hold on. Bears schedule's tough, though. I'm telling you right now, I looked at it. Okay, here it is. At the Rams, Cincinnati, at Cleveland, Detroit, at the Raiders, Green Bay, we don't know about Rodgers, at Tampa, San Fran, at Pittsburgh, by Baltimore, at Detroit, Arizona, at Green Bay, Minnesota, at Seattle, the Giants at Minnesota. Bears' schedule is loaded. I think 6 wins tops. Unless Rodgers is traded, then it could become 8 wins tops. But if Rodgers stays with Green Bay, I think 6 wins tops. DJ Smooth, thank you very much. Do the Washington football team and Dallas and Rodgers versus Jones? What do you mean? You want me to simulate if Rodgers versus Jones? I don't know what you mean by that. But I'll look at the Washington football team schedule and the Dallas schedule. We'll definitely do that. If Rodgers I'd probably still pick us if Rodgers is the Broncos quarterback because I think it takes a little time. Then it becomes a coin flip game to me. But I still think it'll take time for him to get acclimated to the receiver, so on and so forth. But I'd still give us a fair chance to win that game. I'm definitely picking us if he's not there. But I'll go over the Eagles and Cowboys when they get an opportunity. Nelly, man, thank you very much. Tate, if you tailgate the Eagles game, I'll brave the cold. I want to do the Eagles game. The only thing I'm concerned with is it's around Thanksgiving. That's the only thing I'm concerned with. But I'll talk it over with the subscribers. You know, we'll probably do a lot. We're going to do a live show on the channel this week where we'll talk about the schedule more in depth. I don't know the Lakers schedule, and I know the Knicks play tomorrow. They're off the day after that. I don't know the Lakers schedule, but we'll do a show and we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll let you guys have your input. I know most people are going to want to do the Eagles, but if you're going to say that, make sure you show up because I know that's not like the ideal time in the year to go to a football game being around Thanksgiving. Stephanie, thank you very much. If the division wasn't so wide open, they wouldn't necessarily have made all those free agency moves. Yeah, I think that has something to do with it. And I think the other thing has to do with, one, they think the salary cap is going to increase dramatically next year with the new revenue. And 2, I think the major reason was Daniel Jones' rookie contract. And Anthony, thank you very much. Hey, Chris, stand up, New York Giants fans. Can't wait for this schedule for this season. Planning on going to Philly with some friends to watch the G-Men destroy the Eagles. Would be great for you to go. I may go to that game. We're probably gonna tailgate the Eagles game. Who am I kidding? I think we're gonna tailgate the Eagles game. Who am I kidding? That's the game we're gonna do. November 28th, Giants Eagles. That's gonna be the tailgate. That's the game we're going to. That's a lock. Michael, man, thank you very much. Can't wait for the Saints versus Giants. We got a new quarterback. Saints versus Giants is going to be a tougher game than I think a lot of fans are thinking. But we'll see. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. I respect Winston. I respect your 53-man roster. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. And you guys play very well in New Orleans. If the Giants win that game, I'll have a lot of confidence that we're going to the playoffs. That's one of those games that I'm not super confident in, but if we win it, I'll be like, yeah, this team has a really good shot at the playoffs. Tana, do you want to come on down to Miami? I don't even remember when they're playing Miami. Oh, late in the season. I might. I don't want to guarantee that yet. That's December 5th. I might go to a road game this year, though. And if I do, it'll probably be later in the season. That would be back-to-back weeks, though. If I'm doing the Eagles game, probably not. I don't think I'll go back-to-back weeks. I think I would space it out. So probably not. And DJ Smooth, thank you very much. I want to see the Eagles game. I'm going to the Giants-Rams. You going to Giants-Rams? That'll be a good game. Yeah, I think we're doing the Eagles game. And Deke, man, thank you very much. Anybody else hate no primetime games at home? See, I don't hate that we don't have more prime. I know fans get excited for primetime games because, you're under the lights, nationally televised. The Giants don't do well on primetime. They just don't. But it's a good point that they're all on the road. We're primetime at Washington. We're primetime at Tampa and at Kansas City. It's a good point you bring up. But I don't mind that we don't have 4 or 5 primetime games. We don't do well on primetime, ever. I feel like we always lose on primetime. What's going on there, X-Man? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, we're doing the Eagles game. Do Cowboys and Washington? All right, let's do Cowboys. Let's look at the Cowboys schedule. All right, I'm looking at it real quick right here. At the Bucks, at the Chargers. So 2 road games at the start. I think that's a benefit that they got the Chargers early. Herbert, new scheme, but clearly a game they could lose. Going across the country, Herbert's a good quarterback. They have a mediocre defense at best. Eagles home, Panthers home, Giants home. They get 3 home games in a row. I'm going to say they take 2 out of 3 there. At the Pats, then a bye. At the Vikings. Okay. Broncos, Falcons, both home. So much like the Giants, I think they got the better end there. I think playing the Falcons at home and the Broncos at home is much better than having to play them on the road and getting some of the tougher teams, at home. So I think they got the better part of it. At Kansas City, Raiders home. At the Saints, at Washington, at the Giants. I mean, their schedule, I'm seeing like 9 wins. I think they're going to win about 9 games, Dallas. 8, 9 games, maybe 10 at tops. I think Dallas and the Giants are both going to be in that 8 to 10 win window. 8 to 10, 8 to 11. I think they're both going to be there. But I'll tell you what, if they win against the Chargers, they get off to a really good start. Because if they start 1-1, then you got the Eagles home, they should win. Panthers home, they probably should win. So now you're talking 3-1. They're home against the Giants. If you're a Cowboys fan, you probably think you're going to win. So you have a chance to get off to a nice start. That Chargers game is huge for the Cowboys early on. And then at the Pats, at the Vikings after that. The Cowboys could get off to a good start. If they beat the Chargers, they could get off to a good start. I'm probably going to have them for about 9 or 10 wins. Probably going to have them for about 9 or 10 wins. And let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody. I think I did. Let me get Craig. Craig, man, thank you very much. You should go to Dallas October 10th for your away. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe. I want to go to a road game. We'll see. We'll see if it stacks up, but I do want to go to a road game. Roldy, man, thank you very much. So what makes you so sure the easier teams we have at home, Jones can win? I'm not sure. I'm just telling you what's a more favorable schedule. I'm not sure. You're never sure. Anybody that tells you that they're sure going, the Giants could have the greatest team ever. I'm never going to be sure going into an NFL season. There's way too many factors that come into play. Injuries. It's a completely unpredictable sport. How that team is clicking, so on and so forth. So I'm not sure. I'm predicting. Last year I predicted we'd win 6. This year I'm predicting 9 or 10. I haven't decided what number I'm going to pick, but I'm predicting 9 or 10. Last year I predicted 6. But football is very hard to predict. When he's only proven he could beat Washington. Being at home don't mean anything. We should have beat the 49ers, Cards at home. Again, Jones unknown. I'm not going to make excuses because that's what you're going to say, but the Cardinals game, Daniel Jones shouldn't have played. Daniel Jones was literally a scarecrow out there. He couldn't move, and everybody knows that. Even Joe Judge basically came out and admitted that against the Cardinals. The 49ers game, the team as a whole, Jones included, played horrible, and we lost to a better football team that day. We got completely obliterated. Again, you can't predict it. You're right. There's going to be games we pencil in as wins, and they're going to lose, and there's going to be games we pencil in as losses, and they're going to win. Last year, I'm sure you had Seattle as a loss. They won. So it's very hard to predict an NFL schedule. I'm going to guarantee you right now, Roldy, one of those 3 or 4 games you think we can't win, we will. And one of those 3 or 4 games you think we will win, we'll lose. It's unpredictable. It's hard to predict. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Lax, man, thank you very much. Can't wait for the season to start. This is the year the Giants turn the corner after the Eagles. I'm looking forward to it, my man. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm with you, man. After the Eagles is right. No, I understand, Roldy. I get it, man. They've broken our heart. You don't want to get too. I get it, man. I get being cautiously optimistic. Kevin, man, thank you very much. Both tailgates should be Eagles home and away. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. If people are down for that, I'm down for that. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now, Kevin. I am not going to Philadelphia alone. I think that place, the people that go into that stadium should be thrown in jail. I am not going to Philadelphia alone. But if I can get a commitment from 100 people, 70 people, 60 people, they want to go to a Giants-Eagles game. Hold on one second. It's a totally lit music video. If I get a commitment from 50, 60, 70 people, I'll go into Philadelphia. But I ain't going there alone. Some of the worst people in the world go to that stadium. Matt, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, I am gloom and doom guy, 7-10, 8-9. I hate me. Listen, I think Imp, a lot of Giants fans feel the way you do. I'm sure they do. And you have good reason to, Imp, if I'm being honest with you. We haven't had a winning season since 2016. And even that year was a fluke. We played a soft schedule. So you have every reason to be skeptical. Daniel Jones has won, 8 games, 7 games as a starter. He's never beaten a team over 500. There's a lot of things that need to be proven this year. I completely understand people going in cautiously optimistic. I don't blame you at all for feeling that way. I believe in Joe Judge. I think they're going to get a lot out of this team. Yeah, be careful. Max says, I live a half hour from the link. I got you back. Listen, I'll do it. I'll do it. If we get a crowd, I'll do it. I ain't going there alone. I ain't going into the battle alone. DeGorgio, man, thank you very much. Philadelphia is dangerous. Just go to the Chargers game. Be nice. Be relaxed. You get the tan. You don't got to deal with the prisoners. You might be right on that, my man. And Chris, man, thank you very much. I'm predicting 4-2 in the division and the Giants upsetting the Chiefs. What's your upset pick, Chris? I am also predicting 4-2 in the division, like I said earlier. And my upset pick. Okay, let me look at the schedule again real quick. And again, it's very hard for me to do this because I have to see how everybody else's schedules break down, which is what I'm going to do tomorrow when I do my official prediction video. But, if, when you say upset pick, I'm going to go for like a big upset. I'm not going to, like at New Orleans might be a minor upset, but I'm not picking that. I'm going for like a big upset. So if you're going for a big upset, I think you're either calling the Rams game home. I think that's a pretty big upset. The Rams, to me, are one of the 3 or 4 Super Bowl contenders out of the NFC. Even though it's at home, I think that's an upset. You're either going at Kansas City, at Tampa. Those, to me, are the 3 big upsets. Like, I don't look anywhere else on this schedule. Like, I know a lot of people may think we're going to lose some of these games, but Denver's not a big upset. None of the divisional games are big upsets. Atlanta home's not a big upset. At New Orleans, not a big upset. Carolina's not a big upset home. Raiders not a big upset home. So at Miami, I don't view as a big upset. I think we could beat Miami. Not saying we will, but I think we could. And at Chicago's not a big upset. So to me, there's only 3 potential big upsets. And that's at Kansas City, that's at Tampa Bay, and that's the Rams home. And, just because they're home, I'm gonna pick the Rams. And we went toe-to-toe with them last year. We could have easily beaten them. And I know that, they're gonna be improved with Stafford, but out of those 3 teams, I'll pick the Rams. But thank you very much, buddy. Let's see. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. I hate skipping. Okay. King Keys, man, thank you very much. He says the Washington football team plays every NFC's team back-to-back-to-back weeks. Who makes these schedules? I don't know, man. Last year I said the same thing. I don't know. The schedule makers, they need to get new schedule makers. They need to let the fans make the schedules. How are the Eagles and Giants not on primetime? That is a crime. I think it could get flexed. The reason why I don't think it's going to get flexed, though, King, because the Eagles aren't going to be good. So the game's not going to mean anything. So I don't think we're going to get the Eagles underneath the lights. Everybody in the world is not going to get to see us beat them by 40 points. It'll just be Giants and Eagles fans. Stephen, man, thank you very much. Live outside Philly, Chris. I could bring a crew. All right. We might have to do it then, Stephen. We might have to do it. That would be great content. We might have to do it. John, man, thank you very much. Chris, if I am coming to MetLife, you and Bad Dog are coming to the link. Philly loves y'all, so no need to worry because Pizzle came to the link. That's true. I got to give Pizzle credit. You guys do have a gel in your stadium, though. And you booed Santa Claus, John. You booed Santa Claus. I don't know how I feel about that. Mac, man, thank you very much. How do you feel about our Monday Night Football games? If I'm being honest, I think we're going to lose. I mean, you're going up against the 2 teams that went to the Super Bowl last year. I'm not saying we can't win, but if you're asking me to make a pick right now, Tampa Bay is arguably the best team in football, and Kansas City's arguably the first or second best as well. Arrowhead Stadium is a brutal place to play. I think we're going to lose, but I'm excited for it. You're going to get pumped up to play Mahomes, see how our defense stacks up, against Tom Brady and the Bucs. I think we have a better chance to beat the Bucs, actually, than the Chiefs. The Chiefs game, that to me is a brutal game. And I know last year they struggled in the Super Bowl. The offensive line didn't play well, but I think that's a brutal game. I think that's a brutal game. I think we have a better chance to beat the Bucs. DJ Smooth, thank you very much. We beating the Chiefs November 8th. I love your optimism, buddy. Love your optimism. Another thing I'm going to, and thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Michael, he says, Giants going 13-4. Love it. Love it. Let's go, Giants. And Edgar says, when can you buy tickets? Okay, so the season tickets already came out. So it's not like football is different than baseball and basketball. Even basketball is pretty much this way as well. Baseball, you can usually, go up to the box office and get tickets the day of the game. It's not the way football works. You either have season tickets or you don't. And the only way you can get tickets if you don't have season tickets is on the secondary market, unless you know somebody who has season tickets. So, yeah. But I don't know when they'll go on sale in the secondary market. I'm sure they're going to be a lot, though, because expectations are going to be high going into the year. Higher, I should say, going into the year. So we'll see. That Eagles game is going to be expensive, probably. But I'm going to reach out to the Giants this year, and I don't know if it's going to work, but I'll try. I don't know what the going rate is for, because I would like to be able to sit together. And I know, you're not going to be able to get 50 people to sit together, but I might reach out to them and see how much, a luxury box costs. And if it's a fair price for a big group of people, maybe I'll like to do that. I'm going to reach out to the Giants and see what it is. I don't know what the price is. But, say it's going to run you $150, $200 a head, probably at least that, if you're going to get seats anyway. If it's close to that with a luxury box, maybe I'll like to do something like that. I think that'd be cool. So I'm going to reach out to the Giants and see if I could get something like that. And the Ant-Man, thank you very much. 35 years ago, I was scary. Could have helped you survive in Philly. I'm just scary ugly now. No, you're not ugly, my man. You're not ugly, my man. You're not ugly, my man. But I am going to need your help in Philadelphia. Yeah, no, again, I'm going to reach out to them and see if I could do it. I don't know. There's no guarantees, but that's something I'm going to try to do early in the offseason. I might call them this week just to see what the price is and how many people they could fit and so on and so forth. But that'd be cool. Like if it's comparable, if you get a big group of people to what you would have to pay anyway to get tickets and everybody gets to be together, I think that'd be pretty cool. So I'll let you guys know. I'll probably reach out to them this week. I don't know if they're going to have prices yet, but we'll see. They might be booked also. Connor, man, thank you very much. If Daniel Jones is good this year, we can easily win 10 games. I agree with you. Daniel Jones is the key, and that is why this team is so hard to predict for in terms of a win-loss record. Like last year, they were much easier to predict. Like last year, I went into the year and I'm like, they're going to win 5 or 6 games. Because I knew they weren't going to be very good to start the year because of all the change, the new coaching staff, everything else. I knew Jones was going to struggle in a new scheme, especially once Barkley went down. But before the year, I was like, they're going to win 5 or 6 games. This year, because of the unpredictability from Daniel Jones, like Jones to me has the ability. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but he has the ability to really exceed expectations. And if he does that, we can win 12 games. We can win 13 games. Like if he becomes like this top 7 or 8 quarterback this year, which I'm not necessarily predicting, but it's possible with the better weapons around him and everything else, we could really exceed expectations. But by the same token, if he is no improvement off last year with the weapons we've added, we might win 5 or 6 games. So Daniel Jones is a huge X factor this year. And as Giants fans, you have to hope that the pieces we've brought in is going to lend itself to him playing much better at the quarterback position. And Big Daddy, man, thank you very much. 20-0 until we ain't. You tell me that every year, my man. Big Daddy, what's going on, buddy? Glad to see you in the chat, my man. He says 20-0 until we ain't. All right, let's do Washington real quick. Washington football team schedule. Okay, here's Washington. You ready? Where is – nope, that's not Washington. Hold on. All right, here we go. Washington football team schedule. They got 3 primetime games. All right, here's Washington. I hate this, man. Oh, I hate this. The one team that I said I wanted to – let's pull it up real quick. The one team I said I wanted the Giants to get early, both the Cowboys and Washington got them early. I don't like that. Because I think Herbert's going to struggle early on in a new scheme. I think that's when you want to get the Chargers this year with a new coach and everything else. Washington's got the Chargers week 1 home. Then they got the Giants home on Thursday Night Football. So they should, if you're a Washington fan, just like Giants fans are penciling in at least a win when we're home against them, if you're a Washington fan, you're penciling in 2 wins to start the year. I'm not saying Giants fans are going to do that. A Washington fan is going to pencil in 2 wins to start the year. Home against the Giants, they may say at the Giants will lose. At Buffalo, that should be a loss in my opinion. At the Falcons, I could see that going either way. Atlanta's tough. Atlanta's tough at home. Saints home, I'll say a split between the Saints at home and at the Falcons. Kansas City, I'm going to have a loss. At Green Bay, if Rodgers is with Green Bay, I'm going to have a loss. At Denver's tough. Mile High Stadium is very tough. I'm not going to have them losing all these games, but some of these games are pretty tough. Like, at Denver is one of the tougher places to play in the NFL because of the Mile High altitude. At Green Bay, if Rodgers is there, it's really tough. Kansas, that's tough. Then the bye, then Tampa Bay. At Carolina, Seattle on Monday night. At the Raiders, Cowboys, Eagles, at the Cowboys. They play 5 divisional games in a row. Cowboys at the Eagles, at Dallas, Eagles at the Giants. So basically, like, if Washington even has 5 wins going into 4 wins going into their last 5 games, they still have a chance to win the division. Like, if they sweep the division in those last 5 games, they can win the division. I hate that they play 5 divisional games over their last 5 games. But that's a pretty tough schedule Washington's playing. And they're playing a first-place schedule. It should be. That's a pretty tough schedule. What's up there, Lestat, man? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, Washington has a tough schedule, Evan. Evan says, Giants winning the division. Let's go. Let's go. 1 game at a time, man. Yeah, well, the reason we're playing Tampa for the is because we finish in the same spot in the division. That's the way it works. So it's just coincidental. Like, we play the South every 3 years. Just based off, you alternate divisions, and every other year we finished in the same spot that the Bucs did. Like last year, the Bucs finished. Well, this year we're playing the South, but the previous years we finished in the same spot in the division. Bill, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says luxury box cost us $15K a couple of years ago. I think we had around 18. Wow, that's too much, then. That's too much. That ain't happening. I didn't, like I said, I haven't even looked into it, Bill. I don't know what it cost. If it's only 18 people, I don't think people are going to spend almost $1,000. So I was hoping with a big group, maybe it'd be like $350 a head. I've never sat in a luxury box at MetLife Stadium, but if it was like $300 a head or even $350 a head, I would have been like, maybe that's smarter rather than spending $200 to sit, that you could get everybody together. But I'm gonna call and figure it out. But if that's the going rate, yeah, I ain't gonna propose that to people. It's gonna be $800 to $1,000 a head. I don't think people are signing up for that. Yeah, well, every game I don't go to, yeah. I'm going to go to at least 1, might go to 2. But every game I don't go to, I stream, yeah. And I'm going to stream, this year I'm going to stream a lot more games outside of just the Giants. I'm going to just do divisional games probably until we get later in the season where some other games may mean a lot. But like, if the Giants are playing Monday night, Sunday I'll do an Eagles, a game within the division, if I get it. But yeah, I'm going to do every Giants game. Yeah, if it's in the $300 range, I think I think that's what I'm looking at. If I could get it in the $300 range, I think that'd be cool. Maybe $350. $500 I feel like it's a lot too. Jim, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, bro, Giants Cowboys at home right now, week 15 for 150 smack middle. Wow. Really? Wow. I haven't even looked at ticket prices right now, so I'll take a look at it, and we'll start talking about it. We'll get on this quick. Jim, man, thank you very much. My friends and I average 290 pounds. We will go to Philly with you, and we will buy you all the beverages you can drink. Go Giants. I'm going to have my own offensive line. I'm gonna have my own hogs. Jim's going to bring all the hogs. We're going to block all the Philadelphia fans out of the way, and we're going to be good to go. I'm going to be cleaner than Daniel Jones. We're doing it, Jim. I think we're doing it. I think I'm going to both Eagles games this year. I've never been to the link. I think we're going to do it. Jim. Can't wait to tailgate a home playoff game this year. Book it, Derek says. Let's go. Hog mollies all around, Big Pat says. Chris with the hogs. Mets game was great, man. It was great. It was great to where can I get tickets? Ticketmaster is sold out. Also StubHub. Well, it's not going to be sold out all year, Stone Sour. You'll be able to get tickets at some point. The schedule just got released, so I haven't even started to look. But you'll be able to get tickets at some point. What's going on there, TD? Check the Steelers schedule. All right, hold on. I don't know a ton about your team. I know that Ben's back, and I know you got a good defense. But your offensive line, I think I could see the Steelers going like 8-9 this year. Like your offensive line, I don't think is going to be good at all. At the Saints, loss rather. Lions win. I'll give you a win home against the Niners, but you could easily lose that. I think the Niners are going to be very good this year. At the Bengals, I'll give you. I'm not going to keep giving you wins, so I'll give you a split between at the Bears and at the Bengals. You'll win one, you'll lose one. Washington football team, I'll give you a win home. At the Cardinals, I'm giving you a loss. At the Chiefs, you're giving you a loss. Seahawks, I'm giving you a loss. At the Vikings, you have like a 6-game stretch there where I could see you losing 6 in a row. Seahawks at the Vikings, Rams. Before that, the Chiefs, at the Cardinals. I think you're going to win like 7 or 8 games. I don't think the Steelers are going to be that good this year. I'm going to have them at like 8-9 this year. I think with the losses to your offensive line, Big Ben's like 90. I think the Steelers are going to struggle a little bit this year. The Panthers game looking pretty nice. Ryan D says, yeah. I mean, we should win it. I'd much rather go to the Eagles game. Bobby just texted me, by the way. He probably doesn't know I'm live. He just said, you planning any events this season? So Bobby's going to be there from Talking Giants. He'll be there. And I'm going to meet him. We're going to do something at training camp too. So that's another thing. I want to get all the content creators on board. So it'd be cool. Raphael, man, thank you very much. Wow, man. Last night's game was fun. Sucks. The Knicks game last night was great. It was great. Let me text Bobby back real quick. Yeah, man. Giants, Eagles going to both games. So there we go. DJ Smooth, thank you very much. Does Jones beat the Rams? I mean, I think he could. You know, somebody asked me earlier, what's gonna be the big upset? I out of the 3 games that I view that could be the biggest upsets, I think that's the most realistic. But the Rams are really good. Matter of fact, I haven't decided yet. I'm leaning that I'm going to pick the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. Like the Rams are really good, and it's at home, so I give us a decent shot. Yeah, I think he could. Stafford's not like allergic to turnovers. I think he could. Home, yes, I think he could. Who's going to the suite with Chris? Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a suite, Craig. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a suite, but I'll look into it. But, I mean, the fun thing about football is tailgating anyway. So if we can't do something like that, we'll just get our own seats and we'll tailgate before and after the game. I got to reach out to one of my subscribers owns a tailgating business. And one of my subscribers owns a tailgating business. And he actually is going to give me a deal that he normally charges like $1,200, but he's only going to charge me $300 for gas, for parking, for like basically just to cover the price of parking, gas, fuel, everything else. And it's a really cool setup. So I want to use that for the game, get a nice tailgate set up, and really set up a nice tailgate for everybody. Joe, man, thank you very much. Philly 2 primetime games. Great stream again, Chris. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Michael, man, thank you very much. Do you think we will get the win week 1 for the first time in a while? I think we will. I think we're going to beat the Broncos. Yes. That's one of the games I'm pretty sure about. I already did the Bears schedule, Rose Tap, but I think... Why am I getting an Instagram video? I already did the Bears schedule, but I think they're going to win 5 or 6 games. DJ, man, thank you very much. Giants and Eagles, count me in. Link at the link. Let's do it. You know what, guys? How much longer am I streaming? I'll probably go, what time did I'll probably go to like 9:15. I'll probably go to like 9:15, 9:20, 9:30. Maybe another hour, tops. We'll talk a little more Giants football. Obviously, there's not a lot to talk about. So I said, we'll go live today. We'll talk about the schedule. I'll have a video out on the schedule tomorrow. Why do I keep getting Instagram videos? What is this? Oh. Why do I keep getting Instagram videos? But yeah, you heard it here first. I'm going to the Giants-Eagles game in Philadelphia. I'm doing that. We're setting that up. I'm doing that. Craig, man, thank you very much. I'm 20. You better let me drink at the I am not doing that, Craig. I ain't going to jail. I ain't going to jail for anybody. That I will not do. What's up, Jesse? Let's raid the link. I'm in. I'm in. If people are actually going to go, I'll do that. And the Ant-Man, thank you very much. If Philly allows comfort pets, I could get a grizzly bear club. A grizzly bear cup from Russia for about $1,500. When's the game? If you're going to bring a bear to the game, we're going to need it. We're going to need all the help we could get. But I think, real quick, Giants schedule, they're playing at Philadelphia late. It's the day after Christmas. So that's going to be tough for people. It's the day after Christmas, 1 o'clock. It's December 26th, 1 o'clock. So we'll see. But if people are saying they're in, I'll do it. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to sleep over there. I'm going to be here for Christmas. And then I'll have to leave it maybe at night or early in the morning. New York Light, man, thank you very much. If you're serious about the meetup at Philadelphia, I'll be there in a heartbeat. It's the day after Christmas, so it's tough. But I'll do it. If people want to do it, I will do it. We're definitely doing the home game against Philly. And James, man, thank you very much. I'm in. I live in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. There you go. I think people are down. I think people are down. Christmas, obviously, I got to spend here. But, yeah, maybe I'll leave really early in the morning, drive down there, get there really early. I want to be able to at least spend 2-3 hours before the game in the parking lot. And a pimp named Slickback, thank you very much. Trevor Lawrence has a ton of pressure this year. I mean, I agree to a certain extent. I think he can't suck. Let's put it that way. I don't know if he has pressure in terms of winning because, I mean, Jacksonville's just not very good. And rookie quarterbacks don't usually win a lot. But, you look at Andrew Luck. He won when he went to the Colts, year 1. But they had a decent team around him. But Peyton went down. So, I mean, I think he's got pressure. I don't think he needs to go out there and make the playoffs. But, yeah, I don't think he can completely suck. Let's put it that way. Jim, man, thank you very much. I'm serious, too. Link up at the link. I'll do it. I'll do it. It's going to be hard, to organize that for a ton of people. But even if we get 30, 40 people that want to meet up, I'll do it. I'll tell you right now, I'll do it. Don't test me. It's not like it's that far. Philadelphia is, 3 hours from where I'm on Long Island. So it's like 3 hours. I'll just leave at like 6 a.m. Get there at 9. I'll do it, man. I'll see you in Philly, Chris. All right, BX Universe. I'm looking forward to it. Your opinion on Tim Tebow getting a Jaguars tryout? I mean, whatever. I don't think he's going to have much of an impact. He's basically going to be if he makes the team, which he probably won't, he's going to have like a Taysom Hill-like role. I'll be rooting for him. He seems like a good guy, but he probably won't even make the team. How old is Tebow now? What is he, like 34? And Andrew, man, thank you very much. I'm in for the Philly game. I'm in South Jersey, 20 minutes away. Hopefully you're in for hopefully you do both if you can. Great, man, thank you very much. Should set up something with Bobby for the Miami game. Maybe. But that's like a back-to-back. Like, that's tough for me, man. Because now we're going to – the Eagles games are close as is. That's like 3 games out of 4. I feel like that's going to be tough. DJ, man, thank you very much. I'm going to Eagles-Giants MetLife. I'll see you there, man. I'm definitely going to be there. And Authentic says, we'll drive up to Philly from DC, no problem. Authentic's in. We're doing it. It's gonna be like the Avengers. We're gonna invade the Eagles Stadium. There's gonna be like 1,000 of us. We're gonna invade the Eagles Stadium. What's going on there, Jameson? And Bueno, thank you very much. Question: Chargers Giants, 450 front row, or go Philly Giants in New York, live in Cali. Ooh. So if you have to pick one or the other, because obviously the expenses with the flight and everything else. I mean, me personally, Bueno, and this is just me, I would rather go to the Eagles game. I mean, that's our rival. Obviously, it's a inconvenience for you. You have to travel, but in terms of what game would I rather go to, Giants Eagles. Like, that's our Super Bowl this year, in my opinion. But 450 front row is pretty good. You're not getting that in New York. I'll tell you that right now. Kevin, man, thank you very much. We'll be rolling deep in Philly. Let's just keep it peaceful. That's right, my man. I'm looking forward to it now. You guys got me pumped. And Pop Exotic, man, thank you very much. We are definitely winning 9 games. I think we're going to win 9 or 10. I'm going to have a couple of prediction videos out. Like, I'm going to have my way too early tomorrow when I get a real chance to look at not just our schedule, but every team's schedule and who they're playing before they play us and everything else. But I'm probably going to have us at 9 or 10. I'm going to do my way too early predictions tomorrow. And then I'll probably have my official predictions out like a week or 2 before the season. But I think I'm going to have us for 9 or 10 wins. I've thought that for a while. If we go 0-5, somebody said if we go 0-5, who gets fired? Let me just see who that was. I lost who it was. Oh, there it is. Rose Tap. Rose Tap says if we go 0-5, who gets fired? I don't think anybody's going to. I mean, maybe Garrett. Judge ain't getting fired at 0-5. They're not going to fire Gettleman mid-season. What's the point? Why are you going to fire your GM mid-season? So I don't see that happening. And they're not going to fire Judge. It's year 2. So if we start 0-5, I think Garrett is the maybe they make changes to the coaching staff, kind of like they did last year. But I don't see like Gettleman getting fired 5 games in. I don't see Judge getting fired 5 games in. I don't see any of that. Big Blue in the Bronx, what's going on, man? And King Keys, he says, what Aaron Rodgers does affects a lot of NFL teams. What affects our entire division? Because we all play the Broncos. You know, and I'm going to put my phone down because this guy keeps calling me from Instagram. So I'll just watch it here. I think some kid's like pranking me. Please don't bring that kind of negative. I don't know what he's talking about. When, if losing bad, does Daniel Jones get replaced? Daniel Jones is going to get at least 8 games before it even becomes a possibility. I think he's getting the year. Even if we start 1-7, I think Jones is going to get the year. To me, that's what this year's about. It's finding out whether or not Daniel Jones is the guy. And we're going to find out. But even if we replace Daniel Jones, what does that accomplish? Do people really think that, what's his name? I always forget his name off the top of my head. The guy with the long neck that we got from the Bucs. Well, he came up with the Bucs. Do people really think if he steps in, we're going to win football games? This year's about finding out whether or not Daniel Jones is the guy with the pieces that he now has in place. So, to be honest with you, I don't want Jones to get replaced. I want to find out if he's the guy. Yeah, Glennon, yeah. I want to find out if he's the guy. I want to give him the full 17 games. And if he's not, it's time to move on. Because, here's what I'm going to say, man. And I know a lot of people are going to use the offensive line as an excuse if he's really bad this year. And I'm going to be completely fair. I think it's a reasonable excuse because our offensive line is not very good. But what I'm going to say to that is this, and I try to be as fair as I can to Daniel Jones and everybody on this team. If Daniel Jones can't win football games this year with this team, even if the offensive line still isn't good and we have an opportunity to draft a quarterback next year, it's time to move on. If we win 5 or 6 games with Jones at quarterback again this year, and he's, obviously he's not great, it's time to move on for the same reason the Jets did. I don't think it was all Sam Darnold's fault, but he was entering the 4th year of his rookie deal, and you still weren't even close to an answer. If you have an opportunity next year and this team wins 5 or 6 games and Jones isn't good to get a quarterback, you got to do it. So that's my answer to that. You can't wait around forever. He needs to start to show progression this year. We got him weapons. He's got to start to win games. And Mark, man, thank you very much. In your gut feeling, the Giants' record this season, I'm gonna 9 or 8 or 10-7. I'm gonna give you my answer tomorrow, but 9 and 8 or 10-7. That's what I'm leaning right now. I'm probably gonna be optimistic and say 10-7, but 9 and 8 or 10-7. And Ant-Man, thank you very much. LA, they don't have coyotes in Canada to get you across the border. Glennon, that's Mike Glennon. Yep. What's up there, Ant-Man? Let's see. Michael, he says, hola from Panama. Go Giants, 10 W's. Love it. Give me 10-7. I think I'm going to go 10-7. I'm either going to go 9 and 8 or 10-7. And Henry, man, thank you so much for the $2 donation. You should react to Adam Rank right now predicting. I love that picture, by the way, Anthony. I should react to I'm sure I'll do videos like that throughout the offseason because I try to give you guys content. I don't try to overdo it like I used to. I know I used to put out way too many videos, but I try to give you guys close to daily content every day. But I also don't want to put out crappy content. But I'm sure I'll do a couple of videos like that where, somebody comes out and says the Giants are going to win 3 games, and I'll respond to it. It happens every year. MY Giants 26, thank you very much. I did some research. Next year's quarterback class is decently stacked. I'm all in on Jones. I like him as a player. I'm a believer, but Rattler is my number 1. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's why I don't even analyze quarterback classes until at least halfway through next year, because there's going to be guys that rise. There's going to be guys that fall. It's completely unpredictable. And right now, I'm not even focused on quarterbacks. I'm not. We have a quarterback. We need to find out if he's the guy this year. And if he's not, well, then at least we have the ammunition to move up and get one in the draft. John, thank you very much. There is no way DJ doesn't succeed this year. Just avoid passing to Ingram, crossing the middle, which turns into interceptions and tip passes. KT and Barkley will light teams up, and I see us going 11-6. Let's go. I love it. Listen, here's what I'm going to say, man. Here's what I'm going to say. If Daniel Jones can't win at least 9 games this year, I'm probably going to say it. And again, I need to know the circumstance. Like, it's possible, and I'm not predicting this, it's possible Jones could play much better and we can win 7 or 8 games because the defense doesn't play nearly as good as it did the year before. So I need to see the circumstances. I need to see how the season plays out. But if Jones does not get pretty significantly better this year, which he should, the offense around him got significantly better. So I think he will. But if Jones does not get significantly better this year, and when I say significantly, again, I'm not trying to put too much pressure and set people's expectations up way higher than they should be. I'm not talking top 5 quarterback. I'm talking a good quarterback, a guy that could beat good teams in big spots. If he can't get to that level this year, yeah, it's time to start to think about moving on. That's my thought process of Jones going into the year. And I think he's going to do well. I really do. I really do. I think he's going to do well this year. I really believe that. What happens if DJ gets hurt? Again, I need the circumstance. Does he play 14 games and he played great before he got hurt? Does he play 2 games and he misses the entire year? If he gets hurt and he has a significant injury 2 or 3 games in, we're probably not going to have a good year. And at that point, yeah, you're probably looking at a potential quarterback because you have to reset the rookie cycle at some point. Again, it's all circumstantial. Does he get hurt week 15 after playing very well? Does he get hurt week 1? Yeah, I don't know. What's up, Jameson? Chris, please give me your thoughts on the Panthers schedule and team. I think the Panthers are solid. I think they're a solid team. I actually think they're going a little bit under the radar. I like Matt Rule. I think we're going to beat you guys because we're at home, but I'm assuming you're a Panthers fan. But I think the Panthers have a pretty good team. I'll take a quick look at their schedule. Let me see. They are, I think they'll win against the Jets. I'll say 2-2 your first 4. You got Jets, Saints, at home, at the Texans, at Dallas. I'll say 2-2. I would say it's more likely you'd be 3-1 than 1-3. I think you'll win at least 2. I'll go 2-2 your first 4. I'll have you beating the Eagles. I'll have you beating the Vikings home. I'm going to have you losing to the Giants on the road, 4-3. I'm going to have you losing to Atlanta on the road, 4-4. I'll have you splitting home against New England and at Arizona, 5-5. I'm going to have you beating Washington at home, 6-5. Losing in Miami, 6-6. Beating the Falcons, 7-6. 7-7, losing in Buffalo. I'm going to have you losing to the Bucs. I got you around 8 wins. I'll say 8-9 for 7 or 8 wins. I'm going to lean 8. 8 wins for Carolina, 8-9. I think you'll be an improved team. Oh, there's Tommy B. This guy definitely had some beers today. Why? Tommy B, I have never, and I love Tommy B, watches my videos, comments. I have never met somebody who hates Dave Gettleman more than Tommy B. If it was up to Tommy B, Dave Gettleman would be in a jail cell and he would never be allowed to leave. I have never in my life, I've never seen him say one good thing about Dave Gettleman. Ever. He hates. There are people that dislike Dave Gettleman. There are people that like Dave Gettleman. And then there's Tommy B. What's going on there, Zany Man? Thanks for popping on the stream. What's going on there, Aiden? He says, Packers got 5 primetime games. NFL knows Rodgers staying. Oh, he hates him more than you, Roldy. He says, Packers got 5 primetime games. NFL knows Rodgers is staying. I mean, maybe. Or maybe it's just the Packers. You guys have a huge fan base. And you're coming off a really good year. I think they did it assuming he'll stay. And I hope he does. I don't want him going to the Broncos. So I hope he does, man. I hope he does. Israel says, I feel like this year is the year our O-line to prove that they can play because we know what Jones could do when he's protected and when he has weapons. Yeah, the thing I worry about is, are they going to take that big step up? Now you have to hope with the added weapons that we've added at the wide receiver position, getting Barkley back, it's going to help that offensive line. Because at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to. I don't care who your quarterback is. If you can't block, you ain't going to get the job done. We have to hope that Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman made the right decision when it comes to the offensive line. Oh, yeah, he hates Gettleman more than you, Roldy. I promise you. And Bryce, man, thank you very much. I missed your record prediction and walkthrough on the games. Are you going to? Yes, Bryce, I'm going to have a video up tomorrow. I'm going to have a much more in-depth video where, I kind of go over, the history of the teams, how they match up, how the teams did on the road or at home, so on and so forth. It's probably going to be like a half-hour long video. I'm going to have a much more in-depth video tomorrow, really diving into the schedule, talking about how I think the New York Giants are going to do this year. So I'll definitely have a video up tomorrow, maybe around 2 o'clock or so. NY Giants 26, man, thank you very much. Got into a huge fight with a Washington fan to piss them off. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of Washington fans lately, and I used to never have any issues. I'm curious to get everybody's thoughts in the chat on this. I used to never have any issues with Washington fans. I used to never have any issues with Washington fans. Last year and a half, Washington fans have been getting chippy. Washington fans have been getting chippy. That rivalry's coming back. They've been starting to talk a lot. And Nick, thank you very much. Lord Brunson has the Eagles at Oh my God. How? I don't even have the Giants. I'm going to have the Giants at 9 wins. I'm going to have the Giants at 9 wins. He's got the Eagles at 12-5. Flip it. 5-12. Flip it. That's what he meant. He's doing it backwards. Flip it. 5-12. Yeah, he should put money on it is right. And NYU's 26, man. Thank you very much. Philly 500, more like 420. Smoking some good stuff. How in the world? Oh my God, I can't wait to watch those videos. I might have missed Tudo. Hold on one second. Tudo's in the chat. Tudo, my man. Says, ciao, my paisano. Chris just dropped in to see if the wingman position is still available and throwing on the lights before the show. Forget about it. My man, the wingman position is always open for you, Tudo. What's going on, my man? Glad to see you in here. Imp, man, thank you very much. I have compromising pictures of Gettleman. What's the vid, Tony? Tony B. I don't know. Tony B despises Dave Gettleman, the imp. But even he, as much as he may hate Dave Gettleman, I don't even think he would want to see compromising pictures of Dave Gettleman. I love Dave. Well, I like Dave. I like Dave. But I don't know if he wants compromising pictures of Dave Gettleman. I don't know if that's the nicest thing to look at. Pete, thank you very much. You going to the Broncos game? Probably not. Probably not. I'm gonna be streaming this on the channel or Bad Dog. I'm going to both Eagles games. And Simon, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says Philly 500 believes in ghosts. He must. He believes in drugs. That's for sure. He believes in drugs. And Styles, man, he says Florida local Tampa game or Miami game. Tampa won the Super Bowl last year. You know what? I don't know what's closer for you, but I think we have a better chance of beating Miami. So, and I think both are good games. If Miami's cheaper and it's closer for you, I think we have a better chance to win. I'd probably go with that game. AJ, let me pull up the phone now. I put it away because people were pranking me on Instagram, but let me pull up the phone now because I can't see the super sticker on here. Let me see. And AJSTP, there you go. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Jeremiah, my man, he says, if the crap is true about Brunson and Philly 500, those two dudes are higher than I am right now. Jameson, have a good night. Have a good night. Listen, Jeremiah, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'll just sit back and I'll smile. But even if, let's play the game. Even if they think that Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, which I get it. Maybe somebody genuinely believes that he's going to be a good quarterback. I'm not saying it's impossible. He's got some tools. Even if they believe that, even if they're he's going, I don't think any rational person could think he's going to be better than top 12 or 15 this year. I just, let's be realistic. But if they think he's going to be a borderline average starting quarterback this year to slightly above average, if they think that, even with that, with a new head coach, instilling a completely new offense and everything else, having to learn that, the schedule they play, How could you come up with 12 wins? How could you come up with 10 wins? I don't see it. I think they're going to suck. DJ, man, thank you very much. Giants, Eagles, MetLife, I'll see you. I'm looking forward to it, DJ, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. Yeah, it's lunacy, man. Yeah, I think they're finishing last in the division. What's up, Chris? You going to the... Yeah, I'm going to both. I don't know what they predicted for wins last year. I would assume it's probably about the same. Billy F., what's going on, my man? Hurts could be better than Jones, that's for sure. Hey, I'll respect that. I might not necessarily agree with that, but I'll respect that. I could see someone genuinely believing that Hurts is going to be better than Daniel Jones. I'll respect that opinion. I will not respect an opinion of someone that thinks they're going to go 12-5. I mean, I guess I'll respect it, but I will strongly disagree with it. JC, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, Eagles fans have been extra delusional after their Super Bowl win. They ain't winning 12 games. They ain't winning 10 games. At most, they're going to win 8. Maybe not. Like, if everything under the sun broke right and they got teams at the right time and Jalen Hurts was much better than people thought, maybe they win 9. They're not winning 10. They're not winning 11. They're not winning 12. D-Man, thank you very much. Okay, so invade Philly. It's going to be like the movie 300. If throwing their beer cans can block out the sun, we will fight in the shade. I can't wait, Demon, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Not week 1, Joe, but I'm going to be at both Eagles games, which is later in the season. DJ Smooth, man, thank you very much. Golladay versus Jalen, I'll be there. I'm looking forward to it. I think Galladay's going to tear that defense apart. So how many games the Giants win? I'm gonna have my prediction out tomorrow, but it's between 9 and 10. That's what I've thought for about 2 months. After free agency, I thought we were gonna win 9 or 10, and I'm sticking with that. 9 or 10. LA Uman, thank you very much. It's official. Week 6, October 17th, in your house. My Rams and your Giants. Oh boy, that's gonna be a good game, Lou. That's gonna be a good game. I said it earlier. I said out of the. I think that's in our top 3 toughest games. I think it's obviously the 2 Super Bowl teams last year. They're both on the road. So I think those are the toughest, mainly because they're on the road. Because trust me, I respect your Rams. I think your Rams may be going to the Super Bowl. But I have the Chiefs as a harder game because it's in Kansas City. And I have the Bucs as a harder game because it's in Tampa. I think that's our 3rd hardest game, even though it's at home. But I do think it's going to be a close game, and I do think we'll have a chance to win because of the travel, and I actually think we match up decent with you guys. But Lou, man, what's going on? Thanks for popping in. But I think the Rams are going to be really good. And David, man, thank you very much. His Philly fans seem to be getting high tonight. Sometimes you just have to avoid the noise and enjoy something else that's fully baked. Hey, man, let them have their fun. Let them have their fun. But what I'm going to say is, usually the last couple of years, I've been very, not as outspoken when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to voice my opinion this year because I'm confident in my football team and I'm confident that they're going to be bad. So, in season, I'll wait. But if I keep hearing 12-5s, 11-6s, yeah, we're going to have some fun with Eagles fans this year. Michael, man, thank you very much. How do you think the Cowboys will be this year? I think they're going to win, like I said earlier. Same with the Giants. I think they'll win 9 or 10 games. I think the Cowboys will be much better this year. John, man, thank you very much. Chris, I think we're 5-12, but best believe the Giants are going to get beat. Since all offseason, the crap between the fan bases, Giants will go 8-9. I wouldn't be shocked if we went 8-9 at all. I'm not picking that, but I wouldn't be shocked if we go 8-9. If somebody said the Giants are going to win 7 or 8 games, I wouldn't say you're crazy. We could. But you're a realistic fan. I think 5 wins is realistic for the Eagles. Maybe 6. Maybe even 7. Like, if you said 7 and 10, I'd be like, okay, that's like last year I was realistic. I said 6 and 10. I don't think the Eagles are in a much better situation than the Giants were last year. You have Jalen Hurts. The guy's played 4 NFL games. You have a new head coach. Like, what? 12-5? I don't know, man. And Kevin, man, thank you very much. Day after Thanksgiving in Philly, who's bringing the turducken? That sucks. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but both games against the Eagles are after a holiday. DJ Smooth, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, Mahomes versus Jones might be slander for us. Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs are great. The Chiefs are great. I'm not going to expect to win that game. It's in Kansas City. Marley Mar, what's going on, man? Love Marley Mar. He's a great subscriber of mine. He says Tampa will be an easy win this year. Book it. You know, I'm gonna have to have you guys call in next week because I want to get to have phone calls to talk to you guys more. I think I'm gonna start doing that maybe, you know, bi-weekly, being that there's not a ton to talk about right now. I would love to hear why you think that's gonna be an easy win. Because I don't think so. I don't think so. And what's going on there, Sports Influencer? Nothing easy. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be easy. And the Ghost of Judah, man, thank you very much. Oh, he gave me a poop emoji. Thank you very much for the poop emoji. I appreciate that. And what are we at 500 likes, Waterfly? Yeah, if you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell. I know the Ghost. I think you're a Bears fan. I think you're good friends with Bad Dog. I think you're a Bears fan. You guys better lose a lot of games this year because that'll help us. No, I don't hate the Bears, but this year I got to hope you guys suck. John, man, thank you very much. I think we lose to the Rams, Bucks, Chiefs, split with Dallas and Washington, Miami. I'm not liking the 4-day rest between week 1, 2, and 6-day rest midseason. So you got us losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got us at 11 and 6. I think it could happen. I wouldn't be shocked if it happened. I am not gonna be that optimistic, but I could see it happening. And Rolly, man, thank you very much. Why are we focused on what the Eagles? Well, I'm just focused on what people are telling me. I tried to send some money, but it wasn't accepting. Don't worry about it, man. I appreciate that you're here, Ghost of Judah Tribe. What'd you say? Let me see what you said. Justin Fields better than Daniel Tokens. Oh, we'll see this year, my man. We'll see this year. We'll see about Fields. I don't, you know, and I'm going to get to you in a second, Roldy. We'll see about Fields, Judah. I don't know, man. And it's not a knock on your team. Like, and you follow the Bears a lot more than I do. But from the outside looking in, like, I don't know. I feel like you guys have major question marks on your offensive line. And again, you know your team better than I do. And I like your Tevin Jenkins pick. I thought the Tevin Jenkins pick was terrific. I thought he should have been a first-round pick. But all I heard all offseason was how poor your offensive line was. I think Fields is going to struggle this year if he plays. And he could be good down the line. I think Fields could be a good quarterback. But I think he's going to struggle this year. Rolly, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, why are we focused on what the Eagles do? Any Giants fan that keeps talking about the Eagles are just nervous they might be good. You guys sound unconfident. I hear you, my man. I think it's just fun, man, to go back and forth with the fans. And we know right now that, you know, we're getting the rivalry heated up. I think it's just fun to go back and forth with the fans. That's part of the fun of it, man. But I get it, man. Don't worry about the Eagles. Worry about the Giants. Giants fan, man, thank you very much. Fact or fiction? Giants have 2 players with double-digit sacks. I'm going to go fiction. I think the Giants are going to get a good amount of sacks, but I'm going to go fiction. For the simple reason I say it all the time, like, I think it's going to be sacked by numbers. Like, it's not going to be one individual. They're going to have a lot of different rotations like they had last year. They're going to send blitzes from all over the field. I think we could have more sacks than we had last year as a team, but I don't think we'll have double-digit sacks. I think it's even possible that we don't have one guy with double-digit sacks. Last year we did with Leo, but I think you're going to see a lot of substitutions. Ifedi Adenimo will get a couple of sacks off the line. Obviously, Leo will get some sacks. Lawrence will get his 4 sacks. You know, Ojolari will get, 6, 7 sacks. Hopefully, Lorenzo Carter. Like, I think a lot of guys are going to have like 4 more sacks. Like, I think it's going to be a sack by association, but I don't think we'll have 2 guys in double-digit sacks. I just don't think that's the type of defense we run. Like, kind of like the Patriots. Like, they never had like multiple double-digit sack guys. I don't think we'll have that either. Just bought tickets to Thursday Night Football to see the New York Giants clap the roaches. Let's go, Cody. I did see that, Colin. I did see that. I not Colin, rather. I pulled up the wrong comment. Somebody said about Tom Brady and what he said about the Giants. I did see that. Alvin, man, thank you very much. I could see us going 7-5 through the first 12 games, and if we go 3-2 in the last 5 games, I could see 10-7. Yeah, I think if we get, I think the key to this season at a bare minimum is to get to the last 4 games with 6 wins at a bare minimum, because then it's division. And if you go 3-4 there, you go 9-8. And if you win 3 out of the last 4 against the division, there's probably at least a decent chance you'll win the division at 9-8 or sneak in as a wild card. So I think that's the magic number for me going into the last 4 games. We play the Bears and 3 divisional opponents. We've got to be at least 6 wins after 13 games. At a bare minimum, 6-7. Obviously, I'm hoping 7-6 or 8-5. But at a bare minimum, we need 6 wins going into those last 4 games. And then we got to take care of business against the division. And DJ Smooth, man, thank you very much. He says, I want Jones to bowl, man. I don't believe in him, but I'm excited for our team overall is loaded. Jones be Alex Smith. I hope he's better than Alex Smith. And I think he's going to be better than you think. But I again, don't expect Josh Allen, but I think he's going to be better than you think. No, I agree with Roldy on that. He's better than Haskins. I agree with him on that. Justin Fields is better than Haskins. But I think he could be very good. But I worry about the history of the Bears. They've never really had a franchise quarterback, at least in recent history. And I worry about the supporting cast he has right now. So I think he could be really good, maybe year 2 or year 3. I don't think he'll be great this year. I think he'll go through, and I honestly don't think he's going to start for at least half the year. I think Dalton's going to start there. Yeah, Giants only got 3 primetime games, which I don't hate, Keelan. I don't hate that. We always suck on primetime games. Brett says, I live about 20 minutes from the Hard Rock Stadium, and I'm trying to go to my first Giant games of my life. Hopefully you get to go, man. And Jai, I should have been keeping track of that game. That's huge for the Knicks. That's good, but Jai, at the same time, I'm like, I want to play the Hawks. I don't want to play the Heat. But yeah, getting the 4-5 is important nevertheless. So that's great. If the Wizards are beating the Hawks, hopefully they can hold on. I'm looking forward to calling the game tomorrow. And I hope you're doing well, Jai. DJ Smooth says, do we see Aaron Rodgers week 1, yes or no? I'm going to say no. In the end, I think Aaron Rodgers stays with the Packers this year. I think he gets traded next year. I'm going to say no. I think they sort it out and they trade him next year. Michael, I am doing that. I was going to do that this year, or last year rather, before the pandemic hit. So I am doing that. I'm going to Vegas for the draft next year. That's going to happen. It's an excuse to go to Vegas, and it's good content. Joe says, hello, Chris. Do you agree Joka is our day 1 kick returner? I'm not sure. I think he could be. He's got experience returning both kicks and punts. We don't really have a guy that specializes in that. Last year we had Deion Lewis returning kicks. He sucked. I think it's very possible, but at the same time, I could see the Giants being like, we don't want to get him hurt returning kicks. So I don't know if he'll be the full-time kicker punt returner, but I could definitely see them using him in certain situations. Yes. Ross maybe is possible. He's got a lot of speed, but yes, I could definitely see it. Peppers, I think, will be the punt returner, more than likely. Maybe Tony's the kick returner. DJ Smooth, man, thank you very much. He gone at 22, in your opinion. Who, Jones? No. I think Jones will be your quarterback at 22. I think Jones will be good enough to be your quarterback at 22. Cademan, he says, already got my Giants-Rams tickets. Let's go, Giants. So I guess they're already selling them. I'm going to have to look after the stream. I'm not going to buy tickets quite yet, but I'm going to look after the stream and see. And tomorrow I'll probably call the Giants, see if there's, what the group rates go for. Probably Pettis or Ross. Yeah, I could see Pettis or Ross. Oh, Rodgers? He'll be gone. DJ Smooth. I don't think he'll be with the Packers in 2022. I don't know where he's going to go, but I think he'll be off the Packers in 2022. I think this is last year with Green Bay. SeatGeek's got him? Okay. What are the primetime games? Giants primetime games go as follows. They're all on the road, unless we get flexed. At Washington, week 2. At Kansas City, week 8. At Tampa, week 11 after the bye. So those are our 3 primetime games. All on the road, 2 before the bye, and the first game after the bye against the Bucs. Week 11 against the Bucs, week 8 against the Chiefs, and week 2 against Washington. We play Thursday Night Football. So we got a Thursday and 2 Monday nights. For the, I don't know how many years in a row, we did not get a Sunday night game. Last year, we didn't either. It was flexed. We didn't get one out of the gate, so we did not get a Sunday night game. So again, it's like, I feel like the league doesn't believe in the Giants, because if they did, they'd put them on Sunday night. So we got 2 Monday nights and a Thursday night. What's up, Pinworm? Colin says, why the Broncos? Other than Pat and the 20th anniversary, also I'll see you at the Eagles game and the draft in Las Vegas. P.S. Surtain is a bust. He might be, Colin. But as far as the why the I guess you're asking why the Broncos week 1. I think that was the main reason why they did it, because of the 20th anniversary. 9/11, that's who we played. I heard that was at least part of the reason, but it might have just been completely random as well. I don't know. But I think that was the reason. Outside of that, like you said, Pat Shurmur's like a minor storyline, but not much to it. Actually, I'll tell you what, one of the best games week 1, and I hope they don't play at the same time. Well, I'll tape it if I can't watch it. I don't think they play at the same time. One of the best games week 1, I think, is Jets-Panthers. I think that's a great storyline. You got Matt Rule, who every Jet fan under the sun wanted him to be their head coach, and he grew up a Jet fan. And you got, of course, Sam Darnold's going to be starting against his old team. So I think that's a really good storyline week 1. DJ Smooth, man, thank you very much. I'm 50-50, Chris, about DJ this year. Sorry, man. I think most fans are 50-50. Nothing to apologize about. I think most fans are 50-50 on DJ. What's going on, Rel, man? We're just talking about the schedule, man. I'm gonna wrap this up in about 15, 20 minutes. But Rel, Jai just told me that the Hawks are losing by a lot, so that's good for the Knicks. If the Hawks lose tonight, if the Knicks win out, they get the 4 or the 5. So that's great news. Moose says I'm 65-35 on DJ. I would say that's about what I am. I don't know if I'm 65-35 long term, but I would say I'm like 65-35 or 70-30. I might even be 75-25 just for this year in terms of thinking he's going to have a good year. I'm pretty confident that Jones is going to have a good year this year. I'm not as confident long term, but this year I'm like 75-25. I think he's going to have a good year. Wizards only up by 2 now? That sucks. Mike says, I'll see you in Philly the 26th when we're going to take over the link. Oh, yeah. I'll be there. We'll talk about that throughout the year, but I'm definitely going to be there. I don't know if we're going to have like an organized tailgate for that. That'll be tough in Philly the day after Christmas, but I'm going to make the trip there. Watch Medicine Man, thank you very much. Thoughts on the Broncos being 1.5-point favorites versus the G-Men? I think that's a disgrace. I'm not surprised. You know, I think I'm going to make a video. I think it'd be cool content. I don't normally bet. Very rarely do I bet. But I think this year, I'll probably make a trip up to Atlantic City one weekend. I haven't been there, since the pandemic. And I think I'm going to make a couple of bets on the New York Giants. And I think I'm going to film it. I think I'm going to make a bet. I'm going to bet week 1 for sure. I am betting them against the Broncos. If you're getting points, I am betting that. I'm going to bet them winning the division. I think the odds are ridiculous. It's plus 450. Like, I'm not guaranteeing we're going to win the division, but to get those odds is ridiculous. And I'm going to take the over on the 7 wins, on the over-under. I like all 3 of those bets. I like them getting points week 1. I like them over 7. And I like the odds you're getting to win the division at plus 450. I just think it's way too much. And Tuna Man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, what's the difference between the Philadelphia Eagles and a dollar bill? You could still get 4 quarters out of a dollar. There you go. And GFB, man, thank you very much. He says, how many All-Pro Pro Bowlers will the Giants have this year? I say 5. I'm not going to say 5 all-pro. Like, all-pro means you're the best at your position. Like, that's almost no team's going to have 5 all-pros. Pro Bowlers, again, it all comes down to health. But if Barkley's healthy, I think he's a Pro Bowler. I think one of our weapons, like Galladay could be. Defense, I'll go 5. I think we could easily have 3 on defense, if not 4. Thomas is like a slight possibility, but I'm not going to expect that big of a jump this year. It's very hard for offensive tackles to make the Pro Bowl. Usually once one guy gets established, they make it a lot. But I'll go 5. I'll go like 3 or 4 on the defense. I think Barkley will make it. Maybe a guy like Galladay makes it. I'll go 5. Nick, man, thank you very much. Jets and Patriots preseason games. Jets and Patriots preseason. Oh, we always play them. We actually always play both of them every year. We always do because of how close they are. We always play the Jets usually the 3rd preseason game. I don't know how they'll do it now because now I think there's only 3 preseason games. Maybe we'll play the Jets the 2nd preseason game. I didn't see, but we always play both those teams. John, man, thank you very much. I'm 100% on our defense. They blitz like crazy. I agree with you. That's why I made the video. I'm confident. I think they're going to be maybe I was a little bit overconfident. I said they're going to be a top 5. Like, could they be like 8th? Sure. But I think it's going to be a very good defense this year. And I think you're going to see a much more aggressive defense this year than last year. Watch Medicine, man. Thank you very much. Going to watch my G-Men play the Dolphins here in December. I got a lot of Florida Giants subscribers. That's awesome. And I think that's going to be a great game. I think it's a great storyline. Waterfly says, I have your bail money for the Philly game. I'm going to need it, Waterfly. I'm going to need it, man. I think they're going to put me in jail. And DJ Smooth says, I'll be watching Zach Wilson this year. You love Zach Wilson. I think he's going to do well with the Jets. You should stream the primetime games. Raphael, if I can, I will. I plan on doing more of those this year. Last year, I tried to do more, Giant streams, but I'm still going to do a ton of Giant streams. But if it's a good game, I'll do it. I'm not going to just do a primetime game to do a primetime game. If it's a good game, I'll do it. And if it's a divisional game, I'll do it. Like if the Cowboys are playing Monday night, I'll do it. If the Cowboys are playing Sunday night, I'll do it. As long as I can. But yeah, I'll probably do a few more this year. John, man, thank you very much. Chris, can you keep in contact so I can make arrangements to sit with you guys? This is going to be awesome. I think you have my email. If not, reach out. Yeah, John, I'll give you my email right now. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but I'll drop my email right now. Just shoot me an email, man. For sure. I just dropped it in the chat. Jeremiah, man, he says, I have to say, I will be excited to watch Brady going back to Foxborough, and Belichick is going to want to hand him a big L to hold. That's another great storyline this year as well. I was actually listening to the radio today on the way to the Mets game, and they were talking about that. That's a great storyline too. Brady going back to Foxborough, that's a great storyline. He's going to beat the hell out of them, I think. DeGorgio, he says, Saquon will be comeback player of the year. You got balls. Good luck at Philadelphia. I'm going to need it, man. I'm with you on that. This year, though, there was a lot of candidates for comeback player of the year. McCaffrey, Barkley. There was like 3 quarterbacks that got hurt last year, I feel. I don't know why I'm not remembering off the top of my head. Dak's a candidate. I feel like there's at least one more quarterback that I'm not remembering. But McCaffrey, Barkley, Dak, Bosa. Yeah, Bosa's a candidate. Why am I free? I feel like there's another quarterback. But maybe I'm wrong. Burrow, I don't think he'll win, though, because he was a rookie last year and he only played I guess Beckham's a candidate. I don't think he'll win, but he's a candidate. Wentz, I think that's what I was thinking of. Wentz. I think Wentz in a better situation is at least a candidate. Tuno, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, why can't the Philadelphia Eagles players get into their own driveway? Someone painted an end zone on it. Well, yeah, if it's the end zone they're trying to get into, they'll never get in there. If it's what they're giving up on defense, they'll always let you park there. DJ Smooth, man, thank you very much. Joe Judge is going to be the man. I'm with you on that. I love Joe Judge. I believe in Joe Judge. It's why I'd be surprised if this team wins less than 8 games this year, because I believe in Joe Judge. I think he's going to get the most out of more talent this year and more familiarity. So I'm with you, man. I believe in Joe Judge. I'm a Giants fan from Delaware, just a bit away from Philly. I really hope I can make it to the Eagles game. We're taking over the land. Yeah, we're doing it, man. I'm going to talk to a bunch of Giants content creators as well, and maybe we'll make it a big thing. How cool would that be if we were able to get all the Eagles content creators and all the Giants content creators? We got a big, obviously respectful. I don't want fist fights, but we got a big, a big meetup. That'd be cool. Mazika, my man's got 2 walk-off hits, my man. I'm with you, Kalen. I thought we'd get one Sunday night game this year. I really did. I'm actually a little bit surprised. Someone clap Lord Brunson, please. Chris, if they're... I lost it. John, man, thank you very much. Do you see Judge running the score up on the Eagles? Yes. If he has the opportunity to, I do, yes. Yes. You could see it was visibly evident last year that Joe Judge was pissed at what the Philadelphia Eagles did. It was visibly evident. And it had very little to do with the New York Giants. And, some people may say, oh, he was bitching because the Eagles. No, it had nothing to do with that. I think Joe Judge was pissed at the lack of integrity for the game that the Philadelphia Eagles had. And Judge comes from the Belichick school of thought. Belichick will run up the score on anybody. And I think if Judge sees an opportunity to make an example of the Philadelphia Eagles, he's going to do it. Yes. I think if the Giants can beat them by 30, they'll do it. If they're up 28 with 2 minutes to go and they're on the 5-yard line, they're going to try to punch it in. Yes. DJ Smoothman, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, Jones and O-line is my concern, but we going to be good. I think that's everybody's concern. I don't think there's many like major concerns outside of that. I think we believe in our coaching staff. I think we believe in our defense overall. I think we believe in our weapons. I think those are the 2 major concerns. Siam, man, thank you very much. Remember, now they do flex games primetime. Yeah, I agree with you, but the reason I don't think the Giants and Eagles will be flexed, I don't think the Eagles will be good. And there's going to be a better game that'll mean a lot more down the stretch than the Giants and Eagles. They're not going to look at the rivalry. They're going to, say the Vikings are like, it's a big game to make the playoffs, and they're playing another team. They'll go with that game over Giants Eagles. So if they're not a primetime game going in, I don't think it'll be flexed. Can't wait to see the Giants beat Tampa Bay. I love your optimism, Frank. I think he's got a shot. I think he's got an outside shot for Coach of the Year. Again, way too early. But, yeah, I think he's got an outside shot. I think Tibbs should win Coach of the Year for the Knicks. I really do. I think Judge's got a shot as well. I can't wait to watch these videos. I'm going to have my official video out tomorrow when I have a chance to really look at everything. But I can't wait to watch these videos from these Eagles content creators. I kind of want to just go live tonight because today's a big day with the schedule release and talk to everybody about it and just have some fun. Philly 500. I was just talking about you. Love Philly 500. What's going on, my man? DJ Smooth says, we sweeping the Eagles. Chris, mark my words. Perfect time to say that. Philly 500 just popped in. Philly, I heard that I'm going to read your super chat in a second. If you haven't done so, check out Philly 500. Little Birdie told me, Philly, you got the Eagles going 11-6. And another little birdie told me that Lord Brunson's got the Eagles going 12-5. Now, Philly, I know you live in California. Did you have some edibles before you made that video? Did you have a few edibles before you made that video? What's up, Philly? He says, my man, we coming for them Giants. Hashtag Dolphin Banger. I I'm going to both Giants-Eagles games this year, and I'm looking forward to it. But Philly, man, thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it. And Wyatt, man, thank you very much. Giants fans will travel hours to watch the Philly game. Eagles fans drive 40 minutes to get cupcakes. If you know, you know. Yep, I know. EDP. He loves his cupcakes. And Faisal, man, thank you very much. Came a little late, but did you see what Tom said? We live in what Tom said? No, I didn't. We live in his. No, I did not. I did not, Ali. I did not, Ali. And Tudo, man, thank you very much. What is the difference between a Philadelphia Eagles fan and a baby? A baby will stop whining after a while. Oh, he's coming at Philly. He's coming at Philly. No, I'm looking forward. What's up, Jay, the Giants fan, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. I'm looking forward to doing some streams with Philly as the season gets closer because I think the most popular rivalry in the NFL, and it should be, as far as I'm concerned, and I think it's going to be in the forefront this year, is Giants-Eagles. And I cannot wait to dive further into it as the season gets closer. It's going to be a fun year going at the Eagles. I can't wait to go to both those games. Cody says, if you're going to the draft next year, what does that mean? We ain't getting a bad dog. I mean, Cody, I'll probably go live from the, probably day 1, I'll be at the draft. And then day 2 and 3, I'll probably stream it from Vegas. That's probably what I'll do. But yeah, if I'm in Vegas, I'm going to the draft. DJ Smooth, man, thank you very much. We beating Brady this year and Dog Show Friday. Yeah, again, I haven't talked to Bad Dog. If that's what you're asking, I got to see when the Lakers and Knicks are off, but that's when we do the show. So I don't know what day it's going to be, but you'll know. As far as Brady goes, I hope, man. I hope. I think we got a shot, but I'm not picking us. Robert, he says, do you see us at an 11-6 record? I'm going to say 9 or 10. I haven't quite decided yet, but would I be shocked if we got 11? No. And if Brady wants to beat us in the playoff. Oh, I wasn't sure what you meant when you said Tom. I didn't know that you meant Tom Brady, but I did hear about that quote. Yes, that Tom Brady wants to beat us in the playoffs. Yes, I did hear about that quote. I hope he gets the opportunity because that means we made the playoffs. I hope he gets the opportunity. And Philly, man, thank you very much. You need to come on and we can debate it. Eagles will win between 8 and 11 games. I'm leaning towards 11. You know what that tells me, Philly? You think they're going to win like 6 or 8 games, but you had 3 or 4 edibles. And you jumped your prediction up to 11. I am convinced that you had like a whole box worth of edibles before you made that video. I'm convinced, Philly. And Evan Ingram, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, if we go 14-3 or higher, it's because of me. I'm winning the MVP. Evan Ingram, you ain't winning jack, Evan Ingram, but we may win in spite of you. We may win in spite of you. John Letourneau, man, thank you very much. He says, don't put EDP with Philly. He is I'm with you, man. He was entertainment. I never put him with the Eagles content creators. John, man, thank you very much. Please let me know. Was about to spend $530 on corner end zone seats. I'd invest in that. But yeah, John, again, I may not have that answer for 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm going to get on it as soon as I can. Like I'll call them tomorrow. I don't know if they'll have an answer for me, but I will call tomorrow. And I'll see if they have packages, and I'll talk about it on the channel. And if it's like $450, $500 a person, I'm not even going to bother because yeah, a couple people may do it, but I don't think you're going to get 40 or 50 people to be able to do that. So I'll check out the prices tomorrow, and I will let you know, John. I don't know if I'll have the answer by tomorrow, but soon I'll let you know. And Daz says, Chris, you got to check out Mike Clay's schedule ranking doc on Twitter. Pull it up so everybody can see. You're going to be happy. Look where the Bears fall. Mike Clay? So what do? I just type in Mike Clay, Daz? Hold on, let me look. Let me see. Mike Clay. He's got the Dallas Cowboys. I guess he put one up of every team. Oh, here it is. Okay, here it is. All right, let me pull this up for everybody. I guess this is like some analytic guy that ranked everybody's schedule based on, I guess, how hard it is. I don't know if everybody could see it, but I'll read it. True Atlas, man, thank you very much. He says, back from B-Bowl, 3 primetime games. Love your channel, man. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And I always appreciate you for being here. Let me just get rid of these so everybody can see the chart. All right, so this is, I guess, based on I guess one is the easiest because Chicago is 32. So I'm assuming based on this, one is the easiest and 32 is the hardest. Chicago is the hardest schedule in the NFL. Hey, according to this, Chicago is the hardest schedule in the NFL. Now, the one thing I'll say about the NFC East, and you're going to notice the Giants are 12, Dallas is 11, the Eagles are 8, and Washington is 21. Now, the reason that the NFC East is probably not ranked harder than it is, even though Washington is 21 because they're playing a first-place schedule, is because they play the NFC East. So last year, the NFC East sucked. But if outside of the NFC East, I think we play a pretty tough schedule. But so there you have it. The Bears are 32. The Steelers are the second hardest. Detroit may not win a game. They have the third hardest. The Rams have the fourth hardest. The Bengals, fifth hardest. Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs, Baltimore, Green Bay. Easiest schedule is the Tampa Bay Bucks, as if they needed any more help. Atlanta, Buffalo, the Jets, Miami, New England. So the AFC East obviously plays a very soft schedule, 3 through 6. So interesting stuff, guys. Interesting stuff. Thank you for letting me know that, man. That was pretty cool. Let me get T here. Or Evan Ingram, man. He says, your apology better be loud. Just watch. I hope you win MVP. I hope you make me look like a fool. And T, thank you very much. He says, I see Chicago winning 6 and us getting a top 10 pick at 22. 7 wins, a top 20 based on the schedule. What do you think? I agree with you on Chicago. I think Chicago. Oh, when you mean us, you mean because of Chicago. I think Chicago's going to win 5 or 6. I went over the schedule earlier. So I agree with you. I think it'll be a top 10 pick. You figure 6 wins in a 17-game schedule, it's probably going to be like a top 8 pick. If they win 5, it's probably like a top 5 pick, top 6 pick. So I got them around 5 or 6 wins going into the year. I think their schedule's brutal, and we don't know their quarterback situation yet. And if that happens, that works out to be a great trade. I think we're going to win 9 or 10. I think you're probably saying 7 for the Giants. I think we're going to win 9 or 10, but I'm going to talk more about it tomorrow in a more in-depth video. But I wouldn't be shocked if we won 7. I'm basing my 9 or 10 win prediction off the fact that I think Jones is going to improve. Tudo, man, thank you very much. I left 2 Eagles tickets on my dashboard 2 years ago, but someone smashed the window and left 2 more. They smashed the window just to leave more tickets because nobody wants to go. Dylan says I don't know how to pronounce the Legals got cocky since they won in 1743, 4-1. Oof. Yeah, we got him. We got him 4-1. And David does politics says 4, 6, and 11. Prediction 10 and 7. Ceiling 12 and 5. Yeah, to me it's tough to do a floor because of injuries. But if the team stays relatively healthy, I think my floor for the Giants is 7 and 10. Like if they stay healthy. And I think my ceiling is 12. I think it's between 7 and 12. But I'm going to have them around 9 or 10. Bryce, he says, Chris, I can't wait. I'm going to the week 1 opener. My dad is a Broncos fan, so I hope they lose even more, but I can't wait. Hopefully I see you. Yeah, the home opener I'm not going to be at, probably, Bryce. I think I'm going to be on YouTube for that one, but I'll be at both Eagles games. So if you go to either Eagles game, I'll be there. The Hawks won? Oh, that means we need help tomorrow. We need help tomorrow. We need the Heat to lose. And Philly, man, thank you very much. 9 to 10 wins, and I'm on drugs. Man, I can't wait. Oh, we're going to go at it this year, Philly. It's going to be fun. I didn't have any edibles before the stream. I promise you. But no, it's gonna be fun getting into trash talk battles with you guys this year. It'll be a lot of fun. But guys, I am gonna get some sleep. I have no voice. I have to save it for the Knicks game tomorrow. I was screaming at the Mets game today like a lunatic. I was screaming calling the Knicks game last night like a lunatic. So I'm gonna drink some tea. I'm gonna rest my voice. I gotta call the Knicks game tomorrow. Let me just read this real quick. T says, I think we'll win 10. Chicago may win 7. Okay, I misread what you said. Yeah, I could see 7. I think between 5 and 7 for Chicago. That's probably where I got them. Hopefully it's 5. Hopefully it's 0. But realistically speaking, I think 5. Maybe 4. But I think that's about where they're going to be. But guys, I am going to get some sleep. I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you to Philly for coming in. And thank you guys for being the best supporters on YouTube. I'll have a video up tomorrow talking more in depth about the schedule. I'll be live for the Knicks. And looking forward to it, man. Can't wait for the year to start. Can't wait to kick some Eagle ass. I'll see you guys soon. You guys have a great rest of your night.